Hello, another damn peasant. How are you? Good evening. I hope you're doing well. I think I'm ready to get started. Waiting for Tsiya. It's nice of me to leave myself a little reminder of what I was doing. So, okay. I don't click that. I click OK. Alright. My plan had been to spend the ads. They're not called commercials anymore. It makes me sound so old. But to spend the time the ads was running, just waiting for time to pass here, and hope for Tsiya to come out. But then my mic wasn't working. So that took the time. You're all good? It's another very, very warm day here. So yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, right? Because you guys aren't used to very, very warm days. I am. I'm from an area where it would regularly get 100 in August. Of course, now it gets hot earlier and stays hot longer. And it would only be for, you know, a month or two that we'd have that really high heat. But that's why we got AC here, you know? You can't not have it. And it's dry here. I live in a desert area, so technically desert. You guys are way more humid though, aren't you? You get a lot more rain, I think. I can't break into a luck level 50 house. I just need to find Tsiya, who I'm assuming is a Khajiit. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't look at my OpenMW settings. See if I wanted to fiddle with anything.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Did you see that lady? She saw this lady. She was coming down the stairs, saw that lady, just turned around and went right back up. Maybe they don't like each other. Alright. Tsiya, are you gonna come out of your house? Am I gonna ever see Tsiya? Very hot by our standards. 28 degrees C at midday and humid. Yeah. It's awful when it's humid. So I was a while ago living somewhere where it got about that hot, but it was really humid. So the heat, like the temperature degree wouldn't be as high, but it felt worse. Well, or better. I enjoy being hot and getting a good sweat. But I'm weird. I get cold easy. Okay, random person. Hello, random person. Do you have any advice for an Outlander? I've never seen a successful adventurer who didn't carry a couple of almcivi. Oh, I've read that one before. Okay. All right. The sun is coming up. What time is it? It is 7 a.m. Okay. Should be able to meet Tsiya soon. Assuming Tsiya ever goes to her house. This might be an assumption. This might be a big assumption. I'm gonna wait another minute out here though. I'm gonna drink some coffee while I wait. So one sec. Usually you'd be spending your summer kayaking or camping or hiking, but you don't know if you'd manage it in this heat. Interesting. Because those were the activities people would do where I was living before, right? And it would be really hot and humid. Well, it was tropical. So, hot and humid. And so people would go out. They'd go out on the ocean. You had heat stroke once years ago. You never want to experience that again. Yeah, you do have to be careful about heat stroke, though. Hello, Kitty Fly. Oh, you've redeemed Lorem Ipsum. All right, let's look that up. This is me summoning something into your home or work or wherever you're listening to me at. Oh, hang on. There we go. I gotta be able to type. A Lorem Ipsum generator. Copy that. I'm gonna paste it right here. So what you just did was you redeemed me reading a paragraph of generated lorem ipsum default text. And so now you get to hear me try this in my American accent. Lorem ipsum dolor sit-amet consectitur adipisingalit. That bit, I don't think that bit ever changes, and I think I'm getting better at it. Sed do iusmod tempor incidident ut labore et dolore magna aliqua, ut enim ad minim veniam, quis nostrud exercitation ulamco laboris nisi ut aliquip exea commodo consequat. Duis aute irude dolor in reprehenderit in voluptate velit, esse silum dolore eu fugiat nulla pariatur, exceptur sint oxecat cupiditat non proident, sunt in culpa qui officia deserunt molit anim id est laborum. There you go. Thank you for the redeem, kitty fly. Embrace the oddness. Hey, I thought I was chill and relaxed. Now I'm odd. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys saw a Khajiit wander by. I'm assuming Tsiya is a Khajiit.
Make it quick, Orc.
I'm looking for someone. Chill, relaxed, and odd. The perfect trio. I'll take it. Thank you, another damn peasant. You're so nice to me. I can't get in. I can't get in. I no longer have any apprentices lockpicks, so I can't use those. Oh, that's unsettling. And you know they did that on purpose. Just having people grumbling behind you. Are you having fun so far? I am. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm trying to find someone right now. And the only... I think my biggest complaint, and I hate to complain about the games I'm playing, so it's not a very big complaint, is that I'm having trouble getting used to the
Outlander.
the inventory system. Why'd she call me an outlander? You're... Okay, you probably were born and raised here. Are they born or do they hatch? Anyway. I don't know much about Argonians. I think I was warned last time that these guys would kick my butt if I tried. They were rude. So I'm gonna go find what's-his-face that gave me the stuff and see if he has better directions to find the person I'm supposed to give them to.
Why do you
Could I just wait
interrupt me,
outside her
Orc?
house and see if she's there? Yes. Am I too impatient? Also yes. Revere. Revere's down here.
It comes near. What does it want?
Oh, Revere's here.
So much talk.
Tsiya. You wanted me to give a message to Tsiya, but I can't find her. No, where's she at? Oh gosh. It's not even gonna tell me where she's at now. Just turn on quest marks, yeah. Totally. What does it want? Hello, alone in
You risked
dystopia.
your neck coming here.
Well, don't threaten me. You might risk your neck. Okay. I'm not gonna say I wish there were quest marks, because I
You talk too much.
like the idea of wandering around and finding my way,
Say your business.
but also I do get lost in video games, so we all have to deal with that. Still can't go in her place. Say that next time someone approaches you. You mentioned near here, but I don't think she's in
Why
here.
do you disturb?
I'm not disturbing you. Nah.
Tell your friends about this place.
Sovor Trandle.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
These are all dark elves. Huh, the wiki says Argonian life typically begins with a clutch of eggs conceived by a mated pair. There's your answer. They do indeed
Make
hatch.
it quick, Orc.
Yay, thank you for looking it up. Do you know where Tsiya is? Nobody has known. Like, she's not been someone I can ask about. Greetings, citizen. I'm Madrale Thirith. This town is Balmora, council seat of House Halalu. We're loyal citizens of the Empire and proud of it. Well, most of us anyway. So, are you looking for someone in particular? Are you looking for services? Is there some specific place you'd like to visit? Would you like me to tell you about my trade? You know, they're always so rude when, like, I'm just walking by, but then they're very, usually, like, really helpful when I actually talk to them. But of course, if I try to talk about the Kimona tongue, she's not going to want to say anything about that. But do you have any advice? How to find someone would be helpful. My advice you want? Oh, you want my advice, Outlander? Stay clear of the Kimona tongue. We don't like Outlanders. Oh, you are Kimona tongue. Okay.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Can I get past her and open the door?
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Okay, that's fine. Now that there's nothing in there. Okay. I don't think I can open a 75 level chest when I am still level 1. Pretty sure I've not leveled up at all.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, see, she knows. She knows I haven't leveled up. Hello, Blue! You have 6.7 septims. I think I already stole from those chests. Oh, 6.7k septims. That's much more impressive.
For questions, Outlander.
What are you gonna spend them on, Blue?
Our doors are
You got plans for your septims?
What, Outlander?
Are you gonna make my life difficult? Should I save? Ah, retirement money. Captain! Hey, hey! Welcome! I still haven't found Tsiya. So I think I might see if I have other work. Let's see. To Tsiya, who's also in Balmora. I think I'll just walk around. See what else there is, rather than waiting for this one person. Drarain Thalis, right! Where was Drarain Thalis? Guy almost died and I went to sleep. I should find and kill all the rats. Yeah, Drarain Thalis, where are you? You can kickstart the next linguistic stream. I have it disabled right now.
Some manners.
I'm gonna put together a little. I'm changing how that one works. It's gonna be a lecture, and you guys just have to deal with however long I've made the lecture and however long I want to rant about whatever topic. But I've got to prepare the next lecture, and then I'll make that available again. That might be another week or so, though, because I want to talk about phonology next. And I went looking at it, and as much as I love phonology, it's really something that if you want to talk about in a way where you're going to help other people understand it, you got to prepare. Like, I got to have stuff. Exclusive restore speed. Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay. Pitcher, goblet, and paper. No one tells you how to find Tsiya. I had to look it up. He said that she was, like, over there, but I haven't seen her, and I've been there for a whole night now. I found her house. Let's see. I like that there's good potions here. Stuff worth something. Some gold in these. This is helpful to me. Take this. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. She's in her house. Oh, she's in the place and she won't come out then? Okay. It's a rating 50 lock. I suppose I could give it a try. I have some more lock picks.
Some manners.
I'm gonna save. So I know where her house is. I think it's probably faster to go this way. And I'll try my lockpick on her house. I don't think I'll be successful, but I'll give it a try.
We are not fang.
I don't know why they make you break in. NPCs don't really have schedules like in Oblivion. Oh, okay. So I'll have to get used to that. That makes sense why they're kind of just walking in fixed routes, it looks like. Alright, let me find... Wait, not this. this? I have other lockpicks. Journeyman's lockpick. Alright. No one sees me, right? No one sees me. Lock 2 complex. Okay, it doesn't let me just keep trying. It tells me you will fail. That's nice, at least. I guess I have to wait to deliver that to Tsiya. But there was, what's her face? With the rats that I was working on, it's just one rat basically wasted me and I had to go sleep. And then I got distracted, I think. I think that's what happened. That was for the Fighters Guild. Where was she at? Is there another door? There's 2 doors and they both have level 50 locks. I haven't seen any other doors. Was she over here? Wait, she was like, yeah, she was right across the bridge. I remember now. I remember. Right across this bridge. Rats OP. You know the Fighters Guild is run by the Empire, right? The Fighters Guild has to be licensed by the Empire, but it's a little different than, like, joining the Imperial Legion, isn't it? I would think. I would think Bashla would think that.
So.
But you want me to fight rats? Wait. Fight rats. Yes? Okay. Let's fight rats and not die. One sec. I need to drink a little more of my coffee first. It's getting cold. If it's run by them, it's an extension of them. Alright, Pyrus. Welcome, welcome, by the way. I am happy to have you here. Ah. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that Bashla may not have that nuance of thought that you do. And also she needs money. Hey, where are we going? I already looked at that. Oh right, all of her pillows. I forgot about her pillows. Okay, I got that one rat. Let's see. Small chest, lock level 20. I bet it's too complex. Lockpick failed. It's not too complex, though. I don't know if I'll ever get it. Oh, I broke my lockpick. It's saved. What's my lockpick skill? Not very high. I haven't leveled up at all, so it's whatever it started out with at my level 1. And it is not one of the skills I'm focusing on. So, yeah. It's probably 5 then. It probably is, yes. She has opened a couple things that I was surprised opened, but anyway, wait, she said... Oh no, I have to go around and through a different door, right?
Spit it out or hit the road.
She has multiple... Yeah, her storage. Whoa, so this is how lockpicking works in Morrowind. Yep, it's quite a bit simpler mechanically. Wait, where's the storage? There, that way. Okay. Wait, I don't see any doors. Oh, is that it? Maybe?
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Ah, yeah, I probably had to go around this way. I just went the wrong way. This'll be it. This'll be it. Ah! That startled me. I didn't expect immediate violence. But that was me. That was on me. That would not be on Bashla, because she would expect immediate violence. Alright. Let's try this again. It's more complex in other ways if you don't have the skill level. You just can't pick locks. But there's no minigame. It's all chance-based. Yes. It's like, this is more like from dice rolling, is my understanding. Comes from, you know, all those sort of games in this genre come from like the D&D base, essentially. That base idea. And it all started with the die rolling. It's just early enough in the game life cycle development overall. They haven't completely got rid of the die rolling yet. Alright, alright. Big whack! Big whack! Where's this other one? Where are you? Big whack! Whoa, whack, 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 whack! Whack, 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 whack! Big whack! Big whack! Oh, okay, I got him. Take. Okay. You played enough Fallout 1 and 2 to know what chance to hit was. Yeah. Baskets of pillows. Oh, she does love her pillows. She wasn't lying about that. Salt rice. Okay, I'll take some salt rice. What's this? Small kwama egg? Sure, what's this? A bunch more stuff? Yeah. How about this? A magic battle axe. Wait, I already had a magic battle axe. No, that's one-handed. Boo. Two-handed, good. This two-handed. 36, 27, 4. 32, 27, 2. Better. Take the gold. Alright, I should update this. Alright, now you can make me swing my big magic axe. Which weapon skills did I take as major and minor? I'm over encumbered. I'm over encumbered. I can't move at all when I'm over encumbered. I took axe and blunt as my major and minor. And I might have long blade and like one of the miscellaneous as well. I don't remember. But apparently I can't move at all. Being over encumbered is not just being very slow in this game. So let's see. What do I have to get rid of? Probably some of these useless swords, huh? Or daggers or whatever they are. They look heavy. Yeah? If you don't hold the attack to charge it, you actually do less damage. Yes, I have noticed that. Oh, there's been some more. I need to get caught up on chat. I'm sorry. Paying too much attention to the game. There's someone in the Halalu Council Manor in Balmora who will teach you security for cheap if needs must. Ooh, nice. Thank you for the tip. 32 ounces. Welcome in. I'm happy to see you. You say the lower your fatigue, the lower the damage you do. The longer you hold down attack, the more damage you do. Yes. I have seen that. That's what I'm intending to do when I say whack and big whack. When I say big whack, I'm holding down the space bar. I don't use the mouse click, I use the space bar. But I'm holding it down for longer. And I see it does like a little different thing on the screen, but also I know what I'm doing on the keyboard. And you just have me to yelling stuff. So I better not get caught committing crimes or I'll lose that axe. Yeah. It's a good axe. It's a good axe. So I've got to drop some things though. How do I drop things? Is it like this? Yes, it is. Where's my my encumbrance listed? Oh, and here's all my skills. So yeah, my security's at 5. Encumbrance. Oh, encumbrance is the blue bar. Oh, okay, okay. Wait, didn't I do something that made my encumbrance better? I think I did at one point. I think what I did... was I ate some moon sugar. Moon sugar has no effect. Ah, I thought it made my encumbrance better last time. I remember seeing the little blue bar move. Alright. Now I'm just taking drugs for the fun of it, I guess. Let's get rid of all 8 of these throwing stars, I guess. Oh, I just have 1 pound to go. Iron Spear. I like that I just get to pick where I set it down, and it just appears where I click. That's extremely satisfying. For some weird reason. Alright, I am no longer over encumbered. What else can I steal? Specifically gold. But also things like soul gems might be good, and potions. Can I sell stolen stuff to anybody, or do I have to have a special fence in this game? That started to become a problem at the end of... It's just pillows. At the end of Oblivion, was I was full of stolen stuff. Many humanoid opponents will damage strength or use burden spells. Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
Okay, to anyone as long as they don't own. You can sell stuff as long as you don't sell it to people you stole it from, I think. Because I remember hearing about Mage's Guild merchants. Okay, so I can't go sell her back her own stuff.
Hit the road.
That will piss her off. What? She says. I have taken care of the cave rats in your house and storage. I'll take your word that the cave rats are dead. Here, take these 100 septims. It's what I agreed to pay the Fighters Guild. Okay. 100 guild has been added. My journal has been updated. I am, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting money. Moving up.
Spit it out or hit the road.
Getting some...
Surrender your life to me and I will end your pain.
Big whack! Big whack! Who did that? Blue! The cat guy who gave you that quest is a cool merchant. He accepts drugs too. Pretty chill. And as you saw, Bashla, she goes with it. Oh, I'm hitting someone? I'll just get out the axe and whack. Stop right there, criminal scum. Stop. You violated the law. Bashla Gronker. Pay the court 40 gold and surrender your stolen goods. Or surrender your stolen goods and serve your sentence of hard labor. Deliver the gold immediately or come with me. Blue, you just got rid of my awesome new axe. What happens if I resist arrest? I guess I'll go to jail. Resist arrest! Become a fugitive! I'll just go to jail. Bashla's been to jail a lot. It's like her second home. Then you must serve a sentence of hard labor, serve your time peaceably, and pay your debt to society. Okay. You have been released after 1 day. A skill has been affected by your time in prison. Your security skill increased to 6. This is my 3rd time in prison. 2 out of 3 times I've had skills increase. Wow, I think it finished the animation for my, my whack. You increased your skill in prison? Yeah, I increased my security. Last time I increased my sneak. These guys whistle at me. What the? What was that? What was that? Did you see that guy?
Any time now.
What did you just do? You just fell. I don't know you. What do you want? I want the latest rumors. At first, it seemed the fuss about the Nerevarine prophecy was just silly superstition. Then I learned that the Dunmer have been waiting for Lord Nerevar to come back for centuries. The Incarnate, they call it. Every few years an Ashlander appears, and the tribes call him the Incarnate. Then the temple goes out, hunts him down, and reveals him as a fake. Why does the temple worry so much about it? Are there any rules? Uphold the law of the Empire. Praise the glory of the Emperor. Follow the orders of your superiors. Never assault a member of the Legion or steal from another member. Oh, this sounds like the rules of being in the Legion. I'm not joining the Legion. Okay. Y'all saw him just fall off that wall, right?
Let's hear it.
I didn't join the Legion, no. I did not. Oh, I'm in a completely new place because I've only been to prison in Seyda-Neen. Yeah. How do I get... Okay, I'm heading the right direction. Just head this way. Follow the road. It'll probably take me there. Praise the glory of the Emperor. Oh, an evidence chest. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Blue. I'm sure I am sneaky enough to go back to that evidence chest. If you open your character sheet at the bottom right, it says what guilds you joined. Is this? Faction. Yeah, I'm just in the Fighters Guild. I think maybe he was just telling me the rules in case I wanted to join. It's quite a slow motion jog. I know, right? Reminds me of Baywatch. A legionnaire talking about the rules of the Legion. Imagine that. Yeah, right? He gets to do that if he wants. The books in this game are huge, although none as big as that one that I found that guy sprawled over last time. Speaking of books, I think I have a couple in my inventory I still haven't read. And there's more here. Some of which I read in Oblivion. But I was thinking I would probably read them here. Because I know that there's some changes have been made between books. Not all of them, but some of them. And I don't care to look up the differences. So I'll just read them, and I'll reread some if I have to. But a lot of these are new to me. A lot of these are new. You're going to read over all the books in Morrowind after Oblivion? Yes, I tend to read them as I find them, although sometimes I pick them up and read them later. And I'm also still trying to find books in Oblivion to read too. I think when I play on Saturday, I'll probably play Oblivion and do a run through a town or something to try to find the books that I can there. That character can just sneak and go wherever she wants because she's high enough level and can basically become invisible at will now. But I think a little reading might be good right now, don't y'all think? I think you would enjoy a story. Ma'am, are there nipples on your armor? I think you also have a belly button. You know, that's a choice. That's a choice. I respect it. I like your shoulder things. They're nice and pointy. Alright, boob armor, yeah. Normally boob armor doesn't have the nipples. They save that for the male armor. Let's see, I have... Oh, I can read Revere's letter to Tsiya. Draske Tsiya. Revere hopes you are well and that you will listen to the bearer of this letter and give them a message if you decide one is required. In the best mix of traditions, please accept the amulet. Like Revere, it may not look like much, but try it on and be amazed. Revere knows your heart so well. Revere expects 3 objections and answers them. Revere seems but a poor shopkeeper, but like the amulet, appearances may deceive. Come to Revere's shop and ask Revere to face and tail if Revere has enough for 2 or 5 or 10. That was actually added later because I guess they felt women needed different looking armor. I'm nosy. Yes, very nosy. I also have to read everything. Yes, like many far from home, you like sweets too much. Before Revere worked hard to earn the gold to bribe Halalu for a shop license, Revere was a great eater and drinker of the sweet. But Revere is no longer a great lover of sweets, and Revere offers everything to help Tsiya with this. Revere knows what it is like. Revere knows what you have done for it. And Revere is all ears, no claws. Yes, there are few Khajiit here in Balmora, but Revere is not making this offer out of convenience or desperation. If that were Revere's motive, would not Revere easily buy a slave? Revere makes this offer to you and only you. If you doubt Revere, by all means give this courier the traditional response. If not, Revere welcomes your challenges. Interesting. It took that long. Let's see, what else do we have to read? The Firmament. The Firmament by Folk. The stars of Tamriel are divided into 13 constellations. 3 of them are the major constellations, known as the Guardians. These are the Warrior, the Mage, and the Thief. Each of the Guardians protects its 3 charges from the 13th constellation, the Serpent. When the sun rises near one of the constellations, it is that constellation's season. Each constellation has a season of approximately 1 month. The Serpent has no season, for it moves about in the heavens, usually threatening one of the other constellations. The Warrior. The Warrior is the first Guardian constellation, and he protects his charges during their seasons. The Warrior's own season is last seed, when his strength is needed for the harvest. His charges are the Lady, the Steed, and the Lord. Those born under the sign of the Warrior are skilled with weapons of all kinds, but prone to short tempers. The Mage is The Mage. The Mage is a Guardian constellation whose season is Rain's Hand, when magicka was first used by men. His charges are the Apprentice, the Golem, and the Ritual. Those born under the Mage have more magicka and talent for all kinds of spellcasting, but are often arrogant and absent-minded. The Thief. The Thief is the last Guardian constellation, and her season is the darkest month of Evening Star. Her charges are the Lover, the Shadow, and the Tower. Those born under the sign of the Thief are not typically thieves, though they take risks more often and only rarely come to harm. They will run out of luck eventually, however, and rarely live as long as those born under other signs. The Serpent. The Serpent wanders about in the sky and has no season, though its motions are predictable to a degree. No characteristics are common to all who are born under the sign of the Serpent. Those born under this sign are the most blessed and the most cursed. The Lady. The Lady is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is Hearthfire. Those born under the sign of the Lady are kind and tolerant. The Steed. The Steed is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is mid-year. Those born under the sign of the Steed are impatient and always hurrying from one place to another. The Lord. The Lord's season is first seed, and he oversees all of Tamriel during the planting. Those born under the sign of the Lord are stronger and healthier than those born under other signs. Ooh, these are in Skyrim too. They're stones and you can pray at to get a buff. Oh, nice. In this and in Oblivion, you have to choose your star sign at the beginning as part of your build. I went with Warrior this time. The Apprentice. The Apprentice's season is Sun's Height. Those born under the sign of the Apprentice have a special affinity for magic of all kinds, but are more vulnerable to magic as well. The Atronach. The Atronach, often called the Golem, is one of the Mage's charges. Its season is Sun's Dusk. Those born under this sign are natural sorcerers with deep reserves of magicka, but they cannot generate magicka of their own. The Ritual. The Ritual is one of the Mage's charges, and its season is Morning Star. Those born under this sign have a variety of abilities depending on the aspects of the moons and the divines. The Lover. The Lover is one of the Thief's charges, and her season is Sun's Dawn. Those born under the sign of the Lover are graceful and passionate. The Shadow. The Shadow's season is second seed. The Shadow grants those born under her sign the ability to hide in shadows. The Tower. The Tower is one of the Thief's charges, and its season is Frostfall. Those born under the sign of the Tower have a knack for finding gold and can open locks of all kinds. Interesting. The Firmament. Let's see. Okay. Close that. I have 541 gold. That's not too bad. Alright, I think I will start on this side of the room. And yes, it's going to be some reading time right now. The annotated Anuad. Let's see how many pages this is. Okay. I like that Oblivion gave me the page count. It would say 1 out of whatever, 2 out of whatever. That helped me know about how long I had to read. The Anuad Paraphrased. The first ones were brothers, Anu and Padome. They came into the void, and time began. As Anu and Padome wandered the void, the interplay of light and darkness created Nier. Both Anu and Padome were amazed and delighted with her appearance, but she loved Anu, and Padome retreated from them in bitterness. Nier became pregnant, but before she gave birth, Padome returned, professing his love for Nier. She told him that she loved only Anu, and Padome beat her in a rage. Anu returned, fought Padome, and cast him outside time. Nier gave birth to creation, but died from her injuries soon after. Anu, grieving, hid himself in the sun and slept. Meanwhile, life sprang up on the 12 worlds of creation and flourished. After many ages, Padome was able to return to time. He saw creation and hated it. He swung his sword, shattering the 12 worlds in their alignment. Anu awoke and fought Padome again. The long and furious battle ended with Anu the victor. He cast aside the body of his brother, who he believed was dead, and attempted to save creation by forming the remnants of the 12 worlds into one, Nirn, the world of Tamriel. As he was doing so, Padome struck him through the chest with one last blow. Anu grappled with his brother and pulled them both outside of time forever. The blood of Padome became the Daedra. The blood of Anu became the stars. The mingled blood of both became the Aedra, hence their capacity for good and evil, and their greater affinity for earthly affairs than the Daedra, who have no connection to creation. On the world of Nirn, all was chaos. The only survivors of the 12 worlds of creation were the Elnophe and the Hist. The Elnophe are the ancestors of Mer and Men. The Hist are the trees of Argonia. Nirn, originally, was all land, with interspersed seas, but no oceans. A large fragment of the Elnophe world landed on Nirn relatively intact, and the Elnophe living there were the ancestors of the Mer. These Elnophe fortified their borders from the chaos outside, hid their pocket of calm, and attempted to live on as before. Other Elnophe arrived on Nirn, scattered amid the confused jumble of the shattered worlds, wandering and finding each other over the years. Eventually, the wandering Elnophe found the hidden land of Old Elnophe and were amazed and joyful to find their kin living among the splendor of ages past. The wandering Elnophe expected to be welcomed into the peaceful realm, but the Old Elnophe looked on them as degenerates, fallen from their former glory. For whatever reason, war broke out and raged across the whole of Nirn. The Old Elnophe retained their ancient power and knowledge, but the Wanderers were more numerous and toughened by their long struggle to survive on Nirn. This war reshaped the face of Nirn, sinking much of the land beneath new oceans and leaving the lands as we know them, Tamriel, Akavir, Atmora, and Yokuda. The Old Elnophe realm, although ruined, became Tamriel. The remnants of the Wanderers were left divided on the other 3 continents. Over many years, the Elnophe of Tamriel became the Mer, elves. The Dwemer, the deep ones, sometimes called dwarves. The Chimer, the changed ones, who later became the Dunmer. The Dunmer, the dark or cursed ones, the dark elves. The Bosmer, the green or forest ones, the wood elves. The Altmer, the elder or high ones, the high elves. On the other continents, the wandering Elnophe became the men, the Nords of Atmora, the Redguards of Yokuda, and the Seisai of Akavir. The Hist were bystanders in the Elnophe War, but most of their realm was destroyed as the war passed over it. A small corner of it survived, to become Blackmarsh in Tamriel, but most of their realm was sunk beneath the sea. Eventually, men returned to Tamriel. The Nords were the first, colonizing the northern coast of Tamriel before recorded history, led by the legendary Ysgramor. The 13th of his line, King Harold was the first to appear in written history. And so the mythic era ended. Interesting. The annotated Anuad. It was quite enjoyable. Hey. I love a good creation myth, although if the gods are real, as in Tamriel, is it really a myth in that case? Also related, I wonder if agnostics and atheists are a thing in a universe where the gods have actual tangible effects. It would be really hard. Speaking as an atheist, it would be really hard to be an atheist in a world where their gods had tangible effects. And you could be like, point. On the other hand, how much are the effects real effects? Like, I know as a player of the game, you interact with them. But if you're just a person, and all you have are these relics around, whatever, like, I guess I could see that. Because I bet in your everyday life, most people aren't seeing the direct effects of interacting with the gods. It is a myth because you have lots of contradicting creation myths. That's also true. None of these books are quite the same, and the gods themselves, they contradict. They contradict, don't they? Also, welcome in, Eberk. Hello, hello. I'm happy to see you again. Gods were real for the people who lived in antiquity in real life. Also, Pathfinder has atheists. Yeah. Was I able to find the evidence chest? No? I don't... Did I got distracted in this room and I'm reading. That's where I'm at right now. Atheists and Pathfinder are more like they don't care about gods. They don't worship them. That makes sense, yeah. If everyone's so sure they exist, you could just be like, well, I just don't care. You made me lose my new axe. I could still try to go back. Where am I in? I think I'm in the place. Yeah, I'm in the fort. I don't know where the chest is. I'm probably not sneaky enough to get it. I should. It's a good point though, because my axe is still here, and since I don't have the axe, there. Now, if you want me to swing something, it'll be my big hammer. All right, let's look at the anticipations. And how long is this one? Okay, it's not even that long. The anticipations. The Daedra are powerful ancestor spirits, similar in form and substance to the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, but weaker in power and more arbitrary and removed from the affairs of mortals. In old times, the Chimer worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they did not deserve this veneration, for the Daedra harm their worshippers as often as they help them. The advent of the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, changed this unhappy state. By the apotheosis of the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names... Let me try that again. By the apotheosis, the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, became the protectors and high ancestor spirits of the Dunmer, and bade the Daedra to give proper veneration and obedience. The three good Daedra, Boethiah, Azura, and Mephala, recognized the divinity of the triune ancestors, blessed be their holy names. The rebel Daedra, Molag Bal, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Mehrunes Dagon, refused to swear fealty to the Tribunal, blessed be their holy names, and their worshippers were cast out. Well, it's also difficult to make a distinction between immensely powerful entities and gods. You have mortals ascending to godhood, gods that lose parts of their powers, get defeated by mortals, and things like that. You know, that's a good point, Eberk. And I think that's been brought up in some of the books as well. It's like, what really are gods? I read one book that suggested that gods and, like, just spirits of the area were kind of on a continuum that had to do with how many worshippers you had that gave you power or something like that. But that for some reason they had separated it into this, and that would be why you could ascend to godhood, because it's more of a continuum sort of thing than a categorization. Isn't Boethiah a revenge Daedra? Blue, I don't know. Boethiah has been mentioned as a good Daedra a couple times in Morrowind so far. But we are in Morrowind. So who knows? Maybe revenge is a good thing for them. Different morals in Morrowind. I believe there's a whole song about that, called a Less Rude Song. He or she is the Daedra of murder. Alright, that sounds like something they would approve of in Morrowind. Based on the things I've read. In D&D, Forgotten Realms, they had a punishment for those who were atheists and didn't worship any gods. They would torture them for all eternity by making them a part of a wall. I mean, it sounds like it'd just kill you, but I guess they probably have a magic way to do it. The Dunmer think she is based. Nice. Alright. Keep reading. These rebel Daedra thus became the four corners of the House of Troubles, and they continue to plague our tranquility and tempt the unwary into heresy and dark worship. The priests of the temple remain ever vigilant for signs of the adversary's return, sometimes aided by the loyal three good Daedra, who are familiar with the wiles of their rebellious kin. I guess they're a fan of Pink Floyd. Just another brick on the wall. The Dwemmers have been atheists, at least in practice. You know what? That's right. That is true. The Dwemer kind of rejected all of that stuff. And were focused much more on science and reason and logic. And then who knows what happened to them? Do you think maybe they were taken out in some sort of holy war? We'd know about that, though, if that were the case. All this other stuff has been written about. But maybe they were, and it was hidden. It's a mystery. But if people got mad at them for, you know, not worshipping the gods, they could have been taken out in a holy war. There was the secret holy war or something. This is my wildest theory yet. Alright. Do you think you'll find out what happened to them in this game? It was my understanding that it's a general mystery overall. I wasn't thinking I would find it out in any game, to be honest. But maybe I do. Maybe I've just missed the theories where they were like, yeah, we know why they're taken out. You do find out in this game. Ah. And why people acting like it's a mystery. You will learn a lot about the circumstances, but no resolution to the question. Okay, okay. This is good. I like this. I like this. I get some theories. Okay. Alright. Well, let's keep reading this for now. I'm excited now for Dwemer theories. The good Daedra are known to the temple as the Anticipations, since they are the early ancestral anticipations of the loving patronage of the tribunal. The Anticipations are the Daedra lords Barenziah, Mephala, and Azura. Barenziah is the anticipation of Almalexia, but male to her female. Barenziah was the ancestor who illuminated the elves ages ago before the Mythic era. He told them the truth of Lorcan's test and defeated Auriel's champion, Trinimac. Barenziah ate Trinimac and voided him. The followers of Barenziah and Trinimac rubbed the soil of Trinimac upon themselves and changed their skins. Mephala is the anticipation of Vivec, but manifold and androgynous. Mephala taught the Chimer to evade their enemies or kill them with secret murder. The Chimer were few in those days and threatened on all sides. Mephala taught the Chimer to build houses. Later, Mephala created the Morag Tong. Azura is the anticipation of Sothasil, but female to his male. Azura was the ancestor who taught the Chimer how to be different from the Altmer. Her teachings are sometimes attributed to Barenziah. In the stories, Azura is often encountered more as a communal progenitor of the race as a whole, rather than as an individual ancestor. She is associated with dusk and dawn, and is sometimes called the Mother Soul. Azura's star, also called the Twilight Star, appears briefly at dawn and dusk, low on the horizon, below the constellation of the Steed. Azura is associated with mystery and magic, fate and prophecy. I do have to go looking for answers in the game. That's good. I like that. Love Dwemer lore. Their absence plays a big role in Skyrim. It does. I don't think there were any, like, Dwemer places that I went into in Oblivion. It was all, oh, what was it called? Aliad stuff. And Akaviri stuff, I think. And then with things like blessings from shrines and the like, there's a lot of crossover with the capabilities of mortal mages and alchemists. So I suppose in a world where you can get a disease cured from a god's shrine or a potion that the local dodgy alchemist brewed, one could find it hard to see the distinguishment. Could find it hard to distinguish between God and man. You know, I like that. That's a good idea. I like that thought. The anticipations. I think I might take this last bit out. Okay. Hey, Jest! I am great, and I'll hop too. How are you doing today, Jest? I'm happy to see you. I am finding lots of books in this room, so I'm reading them at the moment. But also, I want to try to get my axe back, but I don't think I can. Oh, since you like reading books, there's a really long book series in this game by Vivec. By Vivec, what book series is it? Is it one that's not in Oblivion? I've read a few book series. Special Flora of Tamriel. This looks interesting. Special Flora of Tamriel by Harden the Herbalist. It's very hot. You went on an adventure to get your medication, but eventually you found a place that had it. All good? Oh, good. Glad you got your meds. That's important. And everyone's just saying it's so hot out right now. I guess everyone's in the northern hemisphere that's talking to me at the moment. 36 Lessons of Vivec. 36 Sermons of Vivec. Either one. Love it. I don't think I've read it, so I am looking forward to that. Is it 36 books? Love it. I want 36 volumes. Never made it a point to collect them all in a playthrough. Yeah, I'm trying to get all the books in Oblivion too. We'll see. We'll see if I'm able to do that. But I've stopped, like, actually doing playthrough stuff on that now, and it's gonna be kind of just mostly looking for books. This is more playthrough with reading books as I come across them. Just sometimes I come across rooms like this with lots of books. So, time to read. The name Vivec rings a bell for some reason. It does sound like a very important name. Like, the anticipation of Vivec is a phrase I have heard. Well, Vivec, I just read about Vivec in the last book. It said that, didn't it? It's a name I've heard. I read it literally 5 minutes ago. You bet I'll love the libraries. You know what? I bet I'll love the libraries too. Okay, let's read. How many pages was this one? 8 pages? That's not too long. It's not even really 8 pages. The sermons are pretty trippy. Oh, I'm looking forward to that then. Absolutely. Trippy sermons? Yes, please. Okay. I'm gonna read this, and then I think I might need to do a bathroom break. And then probably be back to more reading. There is a secret library. Ah! So how this is working is I, the player, am reading the books, but the, for roleplay purposes, Bashla is kind of flipping through them, looking to see if her sister would enjoy them, because she has a very smart sister who she believes can do anything. And it's only Bashla who's the one getting in trouble going to prison all the time. So reading this book to see if Bjuxa, Bashla's little sister, Bashla's smart little sister, will like it. That's the purpose. So, Special Flora in Tamriel by Harden the Herbalist. In poppy, in both black and white varieties, may be found growing wild in the mountains of Hammerfell. Oh, I read that wrong. The poppy. The well-read orc. The well-flipped through books, or, well, her sister would be the well-read orc, yeah. Yeah. She's definitely, like, idolizing her little sister as the smart one who can do anything. They lived, well, I could tell you guys I decided that she's from Firewatch, and they went there after Bashla decided her sister was so smart that she could join the university there. So that's where Bjuxa is in Firewatch. And they grew up there on the streets. It's been a rough life. You should have made a librarian character or something. Well, she's not the smart one. Bashla's not the smart one. Bashla's the bash one. The one who bashes. But she wants to support her sister. And she's been in prison, and she's been shipped off far away from her sister, and is not very happy about that. So anyway, she's flipping through. I'm the one who's attempting to read because 32 ounces suggested I put me reading stuff on YouTube, and people seem to like it. So I'm doing that. This is for YouTube. But also people seem to enjoy it. There's a mod called Perfect Placement that works on OpenMW. You can use that to put books on shelves properly. Oh. Is there a mod that shows what books you've already read? I need to look that up, because there was a mod for that for Skyrim. And I didn't discover that till I was like already far through Oblivion to even see if there was one. But if there's one that shows books you haven't read, like it made them glow, that would be super helpful for me. I should look that up. Okay, I keep trying to start reading. The Poppy. The poppy, in both black and white varieties, may be found growing wild in the mountains of Hammerfell. Their succulent pods are often the only nourishment for adventurers who find themselves in the wilderness without rations. It is said that black and white poppies imbibed together have magical properties. When they are crushed and mixed with the milk of the agile-footed mountain goat, the resulting potion allows the user to glide safely above ground. Firefern, a perennial herb, is native to the province of Morrowind. The flowers are inconspicuous and often hidden. The glossy evergreen foliage and blossoms are resistant to conditions of high heat and bright light. A petal from this plant placed under the adventurer's tongue will provide protection from the heat and fire of the lava pits and thermal streams around Dagoth-Ur. Dragon's tongue, a common name for a fern-like herb found in Black Marsh, is especially prolific around the area in the Ulthuris swamp. It is a beautiful flower whose name comes from the fire-red fronds that protect its golden efflorescence. As pretty as it is, however, it is a deadly poison to most living beings and needs to be avoided by adventurers, especially unprotected ones, as it is lethal to the touch. It is said, however, that Argonians can handle the plant and use the sap derived from its roots to enhance their endurance. Domica redwort is an herb grown by many residents of Valenwood for its beautiful and showy flowers. They attain a height of about 3 feet and sport feathery leaves. The flowers are usually bright red. In addition to their beauty, they are said to have the magical ability of enhancing the appearance of anyone who carries or wears one of the blooms. Ironwood nut is a hard-shelled fruit that comes from the ironwood trees growing deep in the forests of Skyrim. The wood of these trees is as hard as the metal after which it is named. The very rare black variety of ironwood is said to produce a nut which is very succulent and believed to greatly strengthen the adventurer who is able to crack its shell and partake of it. The ginkgo leaves, which are found among the banks of the rivers and lakes of Hammerfell, are most inconspicuous, only their peculiar half-moon shape making them noticeable. The edible foliage is very sweet and quite tasty. Legend has it that when mixed properly with the pulp of the aloe plant, the resulting concoction has the ability of increasing one's stamina for a short while. The somnalius fern can be found in the swamps of Black Marsh. The fronds of this plant are light green and quite delicate. Picking a frond can be very difficult as they usually crumble to the touch, but once retrieved, it can be used to put an enemy to sleep for a short while by passing under his nose. Arrowroot is a thick, rubbery tuber that can be found in the province of Valenwood. The plant is quite difficult to find as its above-ground foliage is very meager and scrawny. However, the root itself can be most beneficial to the gatherer as it has magical properties. The paste made from grinding the root is quite wholesome and can improve the user's accuracy with a bow and arrow or other missile weapon. Nightshade is reputed to be a very poisonous herb. However, the variety found in many parts of Elsewhere is cherished by Khajiits who have taken up careers in thievery. Many Khajiits will tuck a piece of nightshade inside their armor to increase their abilities to skulk, hide, and become invisible. Interesting. They use the nightshade not by taking it, but by just tucking it into their armor. Alright, interesting. The special flora of Tamriel. It's got good info, but it's kind of boring. And kind of boring. This is Bashla's thoughts, not my thoughts. I enjoyed it greatly. Oh, so many more books. Okay, I am looking forward to more books, but I do need to take myself a little bathroom break. So I will save very quickly here. And hopefully they don't get mad at me for just standing around. That's one thing I like to do, is kind of stand around a little bit when I go on break. That way you still get your... Before it was the Oblivion ambiance, but now you can get your Morrowind ambiance. So I think I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. Probably won't take me that long. Need to run to the bathroom and get myself some more coffee, and then I will be right back. So if you need a break as well, go ahead, take a break, get a stretch, get something to drink, use the bathroom, and see you in a few minutes. Alrighty, back. Oh, hey, Warkles! Welcome in, Warkles. Sorry I was on break when you popped in. Thank you, Blue. Shout out to Jeremy Soule. Is it the same person writing the soundtrack for all of the games? I never thought about that. It's a good soundtrack, but I hadn't thought about who wrote it. It's kind of mean to me, I guess. So welcome in, Warkles. We are reading, and by we I mean me. There are many books here. So, me, the player, reads all of the books. Bashla, the big dumb brute, flips through them to see if they are any good for her sister, her little sister, who she thinks is the smartest person in the world and wants to support. Yeah, if I was the same guy, but he got axed out, and he won't be for the next game. Ah. Yeah, because they fired all the people. I remember that. It wasn't good, I think. Okay, this is also... They're all like 8 pages. The next one I get's going to be 60 pages, now that I've said that. Oh, I read this one already. Haven't I? Yeah, I read this one. In fact, I'm pretty sure I can see if I do... No, how do... I don't remember the command. Does this one work? There we go. Hey, look, The Lives of the Saint was in the top 5, so I know that I've read it. He got fired before that. Oh, okay. It was for misconduct or something. He was supposedly harassing some woman. I don't remember. Ah. It's too bad when talented people turn out to be crap at being people. Like, they're good at being artists, but they're bad at being human beings. I hate that. Well, Warkles, you're doing other things at the same time, but you're listening with one ear. Well, I hope you enjoy the reading then. So let's find the next book, Frontier Conquest. This one I read in Oblivion, but I know I haven't read it here. It happens. What can you do? Is music slaps, right? Is music slaps. It's here slapping in my ears. I will just have to enjoy it, I suppose. Oh, Frontier, Conquest, and Accommodation. A Social History of Cyrodiil. Ugh. A Social History of Cyrodiil. University of Gwilym Press. 3rd Era, 344. Historians often portray the human settlement of Tamriel as a straightforward process of military expansion of the Nords of Skyrim. I want to say one thing right here, nothing to do with this book, but compared to the font used in books in Oblivion, this is like so much easier to read. So much easier. Anyway, it's like easier to visually decode what it's saying. The letters are easier. Alright, that's all. Process of military expansion of the Nords of Skyrim. In fact, human settlers occupied nearly every corner of Tamriel before Skyrim was even founded. These so-called Nedic peoples include the Proto-Cyrodiils, the ancestors of the Bretons, the Aboriginals of Hammerfell, and perhaps a now-vanished human population of Morrowind. Strictly speaking, the Nords are simply another of these Nedic peoples, the only one that failed to find a method of peaceful accommodation with the Elves, who already occupied Tamriel. Ysgramor was certainly not the first human settler in Tamriel. In fact, in Fleeing Civil War in Atmora, as the Song of Return states, Ysgramor was following a long tradition of migration from Atmora. Tamriel had served as a safety valve for Atmora for centuries before Ysgramor's arrival. Malcontents, dissidents, rebels, and landless younger sons all made the difficult crossing from Atmora to the new world of Tamriel. New archaeological excavations date the earliest human settlements in Hammerfell, High Rock, and Cyrodiil at Mythic Era 800 to 1000, centuries earlier than Ysgramor, even assuming that the 12 Nord kings prior to Harold were actual historical figures. There's a controversy section on his Wikipedia page that goes into it. It seems to be worse. Ysgramor, yeah! You gotta go get ready for your stream, Jast, alright? Have a good time on your stream. Thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate having you here. And let's just enjoy the music and stop talking about the apparently creep who made it. If it's gonna bring us all down. Have a good time, Jest. Bye! Sure, Lauren. Not that things people do shouldn't be discussed, but there's enough awful stuff here, like the racism just inherent in this first paragraph. Which, by the way, right here. Because look who they chose to call Aboriginals out of all of the people they could have. They chose the people of Hammerfell, who are the Red Guards. So, there's stuff. If we want to get into stuff, we can get into some Tamriel stuff. There's stuff. Morrowind and... Right, Tamriel and racism goes hand in hand. And it, like... I have fun picking apart the Tamriel, what would you call it, socio stuff, in the same sort of way that I would have been made to pick apart normal life stuff while getting a humanities adjacent degree in university. So it makes me see some of these things and I'm like, oh, they decided to call people in Hammerfell Aboriginals. Ding, ding, ding. And that's not, to be clear, when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about the people who made the game, who of course did this. But I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps the composer didn't deserve that, but he didn't write this. But I like to give the people who write these books the benefit of the doubt, that when they do things like call the people in Hammerfell Aboriginals, they are saying that that is what whoever wrote this book, I don't actually have an author's name, but that would be their point of view, right? I like to look at it that way, to be clear. So if I'm saying, oh, they're being racist here, I'm talking about the fake author of the book, and I'm assuming the racism was put in there on purpose to world build. Does that make sense? So it's so crazy to think about the 8-year gap between the releases of Morrowind and Skyrim, and yet the lore mentioned in Morrowind is realized so well in Skyrim. Yeah, I was surprised to see all the time travel stuff. I'm surprised still, and I don't know why, because I've played the games now, that time travel in it came up in Oblivion, and it came up in Skyrim. So, I don't know why time travel in fantasy surprises me. I think that's what it is. Time travel in fantasy surprises me for some reason. I also love time travel stories, so it delights me. Alright, let's keep reading. By let's, I'm talking to me. Actually, I'm gonna have a little coffee and then keep reading. Oh, it's still quite hot. Alright. The Nedic peoples were a minority in the land of elves and had no other choice but to live peacefully with the elder race. In High Rock, Hammerfell, Cyrodiil, and possibly Morrowind, they did just that, and the Nedic peoples flourished and expanded over the last centuries of the Merithic era. Oh no. I called something the Mythic era earlier. This. It says ME. I forgot there's a Merithic era. Ah. I have to back up now. I have to re-record this because I think I said it wrong. New archaeological excavations date the earliest human settlements in Hammerfell, High Rock, and Cyrodiil at ME 800 to 1000, centuries earlier than Ysgramor. Alright, just that bit. Then I get ME. Oh, Blue, thank you for the lurk. Enjoy your dinner. I hope it's delicious. Only in Skyrim did this accommodation break down, an event recorded in the Song of Return. Perhaps, being close to reinforcements from Atmora, the Proto-Nords did not feel it necessary to submit to the authority of the Skyrim elves. Indeed, the early Nord chroniclers note that under King Harald, the first historical Nord ruler, First Era 113 to 221, the Atmoran mercenaries returned to their homeland following the consolidation of Skyrim as a centralized kingdom. Whatever the case, the pattern was set. In Skyrim, the expansion would proceed militarily, with human settlement following the frontier of conquest, and the line between human territory and elven territory was relatively clear. But beyond this zone of conflict, the other Nedic peoples continued to merge with their elven neighbors. When the Nord armies of the First Empire finally entered High Rock and Cyrodiil, they found Bretons and Proto-Cyrodiils already living there among the elves. Indeed, the Nords found it difficult to distinguish between Elf and Breton. The two races had already intermingled to such a degree. The arrival of the Nord armies upset the balance of power between the Nedic peoples and the Elves. Although the Nords' expansion into High Rock and Cyrodiil was relatively brief, less than 2 centuries, the result was decisive. From then on, power in those regions shifted from the Elves to the humans. I know I read this in Oblivion already, and I might have mentioned it at the time, but the Nords found it difficult to distinguish between Elf and Breton. I still think it makes no sense that you can't be a half-elf in Tamriel. Like, Elder Scrolls games need half-elf options. They need being half one elf and half another elf. Like, there's so much racial mixing that it doesn't make sense to pick a race the way you do. And I read notes on racial phylogeny, which said that usually they look like the mom, they're kind of like the race of the mom, quote unquote, but they'll have characteristics of the father. And you do that for thousands of years, you're gonna end up with just a mishmash blob, quote unquote, race, right? It's all gonna be mixed together. No, it's just that you are the race of your mother. It says right here they couldn't distinguish them. And in notes on racial phylogeny, it says they like mostly take on the characteristics of the mother, but they will have a few characteristics of the father. And I also read another book that said that there was a character who was half Breton, half elf. I think it was Dunmer. And he looked like an elf, but he had the short life of the Breton because he had a Breton father. So, can races breed in Tamriel, like Argonian and Khajiit? There was talk of that, and it seems to think that they seem to think the beast races can't intermingle with the others, and then there was some racist stuff against orcs. Because Nords are stupid. So anyway, I think for world building purposes, there should be more half elves. And half Altmer, half Dunmer, even. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's gone on long enough. The world is thousands of years old. They should, and here it even says it's difficult to distinguish between elf and Breton, sounding like they've intermingled so much that they made like they're all halfsies. Technically is a half Kindmer, half Dummer. See? That's all. That's all. Maybe the game just wants to force you, the player, to be of a single race or identified with one. Perhaps that's what it is. We can say that. We can say that. Frontier, Conquest. Doo. That was a kind of a fun book, wasn't it? A little bit, a little bit. Good information, I guess. Okay. That individualism is just really special. Oh, individuum. The individuum. Okay, I don't think I got there yet. Let's see what this is. Ordo Legionis. How many pages is this one? Not long at all. I'm gonna have a little coffee, read this one. Yeah, IRL races are fake. And in Tamriel, it seems like maybe they're half fake. Because the men and the mare have the same roots, right? Which basically means that it's the same situation as humans, races being fake. But then you have the beast folk, which are significantly different in a way, and their roots seem to be less known. And so they may actually be a different species, might be a better word, right? If you can't interbreed. Anyway, that's part of it. It's like the whole races are kind of fake. Yeah, if they can interbreed, then races should be kind of fake, and there should be a lot more mixed race people. That's a better way to putting it than saying halvesies like I did earlier. I was trying to think of the word mixed race, and I could not. Whenever I try to apply real life to fantasy games, I get a headache. My creators are usually not aware of things. Yeah, the creators of fantasy games. True. They studied other things, like how to make games. And we're not in humanities adjacent programs. Okay, a little more coffee and then I will read. Ordo Legionis. The most disciplined and effective military force in history, the Imperial Legions preserve the peace and rule of law in the Empire. At need, the Legion garrisons can be swiftly mobilized to protect against invasions or internal disorders. But in Vardenfell district of Morrowind, the local forts help to ensure law and order, providing guards to supplement the local guard units of the temple and great houses Halalu, Redoran, and Telvanni. There are 5 Legion garrisons in Vardenfell district. The 3 town garrisons, Moonmoth Legion Fort in Balmora, Buckmoth Legion Fort in Altrune, and Fort Pelagiad in Pelagiad, are at full complement. The Hawkmoth Legion garrisoned at Castle Ebonheart is an elite honor guard unit and also at full complement. The frontier installation, Fort Darius in Nisus Village, is currently the only understrength garrison on Vardenfell. Qualified citizens seeking enlistment in the Imperial Legion should apply to the commander of that garrison, General Darius. The Legion selects candidates on the basis of superior endurance, the soldierly virtue, and trustworthy personality, the citizen's virtue, for service in the Legion is the model for the duties of Imperial citizenship. Troopers are expected to demonstrate mastery of the long blade, the spear, and blunt weapons. Legion troops train with shield and heavy armor and so must be skilled at blocking and moving in heavy armor. As a trooper or knight, you must master the long blade, spear, and blunt weapons. You must block whatever blows you can and take unblocked blows upon your heavy armor. Recruits must also be proficient at athletics, both to march long distances with heavy packs and to advance and maneuver, charge, and retreat on the field of battle. Michael Kirkbride studied creative writing and comparative religious studies. Ah, is that who wrote this stuff? Because that would make a lot of sense for the writing, to be honest. Lots of creative writing. Ordo Legionis. Don't want to join the order. Okay. He's one of the main writers and lore guys in Morrowind. Nice, nice. So I'm hoping to have my streamer bot fixed where I don't have to put my little book reviews actually through a chat command by next time. So I don't like how it's filling up the chat, kind of spamming. But I need to figure out how to do that. You know, I'm inspiring. Oh. You feel bad to take it as slow as I do. I have spent an entire session just reading stuff before. Absolutely have. As the game goes on and I start finding more books that I've read, and it's less all new books, that does slow down. I did once spend an entire 2-hour session just reading. I believe it was Biography of Barenziah. Among other things, but that took up most of it. Oh, I will admit I was a little surprised that people were up for the more slow-paced gaming, but you know, I figure I game the way I game, and people who want to hang out will, and people who don't won't, and that's cool. And I've got a bunch of really cool people who like hanging out with me, apparently. So, yay. Heck yeah, yeah. And you're here, Kitty Fly, so what more could I ask for? So let's read Aedra and Daedra. The designations of gods, demons, Aedra and Daedra are universally confusing to the layman. They are often used interchangeably. Oh, sorry for the pause there. One of these days I am going to miss, and I am not going to hit mute before I let out a giant belch after gulping coffee. But I did. I made it. Okay. Back to reading. Aedra and Daedra are not relative terms. They are elvish and exact. Azura is a Daedra, both in Skyrim and Morrowind. Aedra is usually translated as ancestor, which is as close as Cyrodiilic can come to this elven concept. Daedra means, roughly, not our ancestors. This distinction was crucial to the Dunmer, whose fundamental split in ideology is represented in their mythical genealogy. Aedra are associated with stasis. Daedra represent change. Aedra created the mortal world and are bound to the earth bones. Daedra, who cannot create, have the power to change. As part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorcan and the moons. The Protean Daedra, for whom the rules do not apply, can only be banished. Aedra and Daedra.
Who put that there?
Who put that there? These are your books. Okay. Aedra and Daedra. What are these books back here? The Annotated Anuad, the Anticipations. I've read those. I've read those. Alright, what's this book? I've read that one.
Say something or move on.
Say something or move on. I read that. I read that. I read that. This is where I started. Did I go all the way around the room? I think I did. If you have low personality in this game, all NPCs are rude with their voice lines. Oh, that explains why all NPCs are rude with their voice lines. They're rude until I talk to them, and then they're like, how can I help you? I can do this for you, and I can do that for you.
If I can help, I will, but don't take too much time.
Yeah, see, like, that's the nicest people are to me. Here we are. I knew there were more books. I knew I was missing some books. I'd seen books. Oh, I read that one. What are these? Read. Alright, 2 books I haven't read, and whatever this one is.
Let's hear it.
I've read that one. You probably have 25 personality or something, or 30. I'm pretty sure being an orc gives you, a hit to personality. Where is it at? No, it's not here. It's strength, intelligence, agility, willpower, speed. I have to make this longer. There we go. Personality, I have 25. 25 personality. You probably have 25. You were correct. I am so rude. I bet you have 25 personality. No, Bashla having 25 personality fits perfectly with how I am role-playing her. It is fine. So let's see. The Pilgrim's Path. My journal has been updated. The Pilgrim's Path. The pilgrim must visit each of these shrines of the 7 graces. At each site, the pilgrim must stand before the 3-sided stone triolith and read the inscription. To ease the pilgrim's task, To ease the pilgrim's task, the temple has made this list of shrines along with directions and advice to pilgrims. The blessings of each shrine last at least half a day. Oh, okay, nice. Shrines. Oh yeah, it's a cool book, and it has a quest. Is it like the Pilgrim quest, similar to that one in Oblivion? All right, coffee finished. Yeah, kinda. Cool, cool. The Fields of Camus, Shrine of Humility. Here, Lord Vivec met a poor farmer whose guar had died. The farmer could not harvest his muck without his guar, and he could not provide for his family or his village. So Lord Vivec removed his fine clothes and toiled in the fields like a beast of burden until the crop was harvested. It is at the Fields of Camus we go to pray for the same humility Lord Vivec showed on that day. The Fields of Camus are west of Suron, on the north shore of Lake Amaya. Blah, blah, blah. Fields of Camus? Nope, Camus. The Fields of Camus are west of Suron, on the north shore of Lake Amaya, as you head towards Pelagiad. The shrine is between two rocks, and is most easily noticed while traveling east along the road. Alof's farm nearby has a small dock on the north bank of Lake Amaya. This is the only dock nearby, which Alof kindly allows servants of the temple to use. It is customary to leave a portion of muck at the shrine to represent Vivec's humility. To stop the moon, the shrine of daring. When Sheogorath rebelled against the tribunal, he tricked the moon, Bar Dao, into forsaking its appointed path through oblivion. The Mad Star inspired the moon to hurl itself upon Vivec's new city, which Sheogorath claimed was built in mockery of the heavens. When Vivec learned of Sheogorath's scheme, he froze the rogue moon in the sky with a single gesture and the grace of his countenance. Overwhelmed by the courage and daring of Vivec, the moon Bar Dao swore itself to eternal service of the tribunal and all its works. Thus, the moon now stands guard over the palace and serves as a citadel for the temple's ordinators. The Shrine of Daring is found in the city of Vivec, in the Temple District, along the western wall of the High Fane, the great temple of Vardenfell. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave behind a potion of rising force. Suitable potions may be purchased from the temple. Homemade potions are not acceptable. You have to buy one of their potions. Okay, but this is a French writer. Oh, Camus? It's supposed to be pronounced like I did. So it sounds the same, at least to my ears. It is French. You were making a joke. And I don't know French, which is my bad. I should have put that together, though. Me just seeing that and being like, well, of course you meant Camus. You did not. You meant whatever I was saying. Camus. Well, now I can pronounce Camus. I know now. The Palace. Shrine of Generosity. Long after Lord Nerevar and the Tribunal triumphed over Dagoth-Ur, the people wished to build a monument to the heroes of that war. Vivec thanked them, but said that it would be better to dedicate a monument not only to the glorious heroes, but to all people, great and small, who suffered and died in the war. It became the custom to make offerings here, either in thanks to our good fortune or for those less fortunate. The Grace of Generosity is on the top steps of Vivec's palace, the southernmost canton of Vivec City. The customary donation for those in good fortune is 100 gold. The Puzzle Canal, the Shrine of Courtesy. In a battle with Mehrunes Dagon, Vivec gave his own silver longsword to the Daedra Lord rather than dishonor himself by fighting an unarmed foe. This so impressed the Dremora, the most honorable and chivalrous of Mehrunes Dagon's Daedric servants, that they now share a bond of respect and courtesy with the followers of the Tribunal, though we must never forget that they are our enemies. The Shrine of Courtesy is found in the heart of the Puzzle Canal, a labyrinth beneath Lord Vivec's palace in the city of Vivec. The journey through the Puzzle Canal can be confusing, and it is suggested that common pilgrims carry a scroll of Almsivi intervention in case they get lost. The Dremora crest is found in the center of the Puzzle Canal and will accept a plain silver longsword if spoken to with courtesy. After Kratz accepts the sword, pilgrims must reach the inscription of the Triolith. The Mask of Vivec, Shrine of Justice. Near the altar is Vivec's ash mask. In the days of fire, when Dagoth-Ur first crept back into Red Mountain and awakened it, Vivec led refugees here as they fled the ash and blight. Weary, they rested here for a while. When Vivec awoke, he found himself and all his followers encased in casts of gray ash. Frozen like a sleeping statue and unable to free himself or help his people, Vivec was filled with despair. Vivec's tears weakened his ash cast. He tore the ash from his perished followers, breathed life into their lungs, and cured them of the blight. This is Vivec's heroism. His tender heart provides strength when his might fails. The Shrine of Justice is guarded within the Nisus Temple in the village of Nisus, northwest by road from the town of Aldrune. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a potion of cure common disease as a token of your respect for justice. Suitable potions may be purchased from the temple. Homemade potions are not acceptable. Again. Coal Cave, the Shrine of Valor. Within the Coal Cave, Vivec fought a battle with Ruddyman, the father of the Dreg. When he defeated Ruddyman, Vivec spared his life on the condition that Ruddyman and his children would give up their tough hides to serve as armor for the Dunmer. The Shrine of Valor is inside the Coal Cave, a cavern on the seacoast west of the ancient stronghold Barandis and south of Nisus. The cave mouth faces south, towards the sea, and is marked by a large natural arch of stone. The region is wilderness, and finding the cave mouth can be difficult. Dreg within the cave itself are fearsome enemies, only experienced and capable adventurers should attempt to reenact the epic battle with the Dreg in the cave. Dreg wax may be bought at the temple in Nisus. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a portion of Dreg wax as a token of Vivec's victorious struggle with Ruddyman. The Ghost Fence, the Shrine of Pride. The Ghost Fence is a lasting symbol of the indomitable will and power of Almsivi, and a monument to Dunmer pride in overcoming its enemies. The Shrine of Pride is found within the Ghost Fence, just northeast of the Ghost Gate itself. The safest route to Ghost Gate is along the Foyata Mamea, a volcanic ravine running from the top of Red Mountain somewhere to its end just below Balmora. An old Dwemer bridge crosses the Foyata near Fort... I always want to say that wrong. An old Dwemer bridge crosses the Foyata near Fort Moonmoth. A pilgrim may follow the Foyata Mamea all the way to Ghost Gate. Any journey inside the Ghost Fence is dangerous, but even the most timid pilgrim should be safe so long as he does not stray too far from the Ghost Gate and flees from any minions of Dagoth-Ur. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a soul gem in remembrance of our ancestors who were bound to the tribunal's service. Okay, the Pilgrim's Path. Okay. For My Gods and Emperor, I think that's the last book I have to read. I don't think there were any others. Yeah, because I read that one. So last book, then we'll move on. For My Gods and Emperor. For My Gods and Emperor, a handbook for the Imperial Cult. What is the Imperial Cult? The missionary arm of the Great Faiths, the Imperial Cult, brings divine inspiration and consolation to the Empire's remote provinces. The cults combine the worship of the 9 divines, the Aedra Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and the Talos cult, veneration of the divine god-hero Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. Imperial cult priests provide worship and services for all these gods at imperial shrines in settlements throughout Vardenfell. Pilgrim's Progress, right? I think they definitely were referencing that story. What is the virtuous life? Our doctrines are simple. We acknowledge the divinity of the 9 divines: Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, Julianos, and Tiber Septim. We preach the 9 virtues: humility, inspiration, piety, work, compassion, justice, ambition, learning, and civility. Our Emperor is the defender of the faith, and the Empire is the worldly working of the divine plan. We pledge aid and comfort to all citizens in need and serve the Emperor and Empire at his will. The imperial cults look to the 9 divines as models for living a good and virtuous life. Each of the 9 represents different aspects of life and how it should be lived, but the simplest statement of our doctrines is, help and protect one another. The stronger one is, the wealthier one is, the more one bears responsibility for helping and protecting others. One's first duty, of course, is to one's fellow members of the imperial cult, but after that, one should help and protect any needy persons. We also say, do not harm one another. It is forbidden to attack another person of the imperial cult, and, of course, forbidden to kill another member. It is forbidden to steal from another member, whether by open theft or by covert pickpocketing. It is forbidden to trespass upon the private property of another member, break any one of these rules, and be expelled from the cult. How can I join the imperial cult? The imperial cult accepts all citizens of good character and earnest faith. We ask only a one-time pledge of 50 drakes to aid us in our good works. Thereafter, the only cost of membership comes when you use our health, healing, and blessing shrines. Modest fees which help us spread the blessings of the 9 to those less fortunate than ourselves. Those who would wish to join the imperial cult in Vardenfell will find a warm welcome from our cult greeters, Igfa at Fort Pelagiad, Celoria, Ceruleolus at Buckmoth Legion Fort, Somatus Vunus at Moonmoth Legion Fort, Rucia Conician at the Grand Council Chamber in Ebonheart, or Lalatia Varian at the Imperial Chapels at Ebonheart. Will I join the Imperial cult? Absolutely not. Bashla has a bit of a grudge against the Empire. You know, she was young and she was homeless and she got arrested a bunch rather than helped. So she kind of has a grudge against the police or anyone who like represents the Empire. Yeah. Will I join the temple? I don't think she wants to join anything that's called Imperial, essentially. And she did last time. She delivered to that guy, and then he was like, you follow my orders, and she's like, no. She has, at the moment, temporarily, because I will play the actual game, but temporarily she has rejected the call to adventure. The temple is the opposite, is the Morrowind religion. Ah. I don't know if she'd be really inclined. They'd have to offer her something. With Vivec. Yeah, they'd have to offer her something, I think, for her to join the Morrowind religion. But she may be against the Empire. And, like, she just anti-government sort of thing, I guess. You know, they've not been nice to her, so she doesn't like them. But I don't know if that means she would be, like, pro-Dunmer? Will she join the Thieves? No, the Thieves Guild she actually tried to join earlier, and they didn't want her yet. But yes, the Thieves Guild and the Fighters Guild are in the plan for sure. I don't know if there's other guilds. I think Oblivion had one guild where it was like a little more what was it called? The Blackwood Company. You might do illegal things. She would do that. That sort of thing. She might even join a Dark Brotherhood. If there's a Dark Brotherhood. Yeah, my skills and stats are probably too low. Yeah, she's open to some guilds and definitely sees the benefit in having comrades, people around to help. You against the the Imperials, really. People to help you against the Imperials. There isn't a Dark Brotherhood, but there's something better. Oh, yeah, there's the Morag Tong. I've read about them. She would do that. She doesn't have anything against killing. And since chat has the ability to redeem rewards that will make her, like, swing or use spells or punch, I've also decided, you know, she's not super psychologically healthy. Sometimes she does things she doesn't even know why she does them. Yeah. It's cooler. Alright, alright. So, the Imperial cult wants just 50 drakes to join them. Of course, if you want to go on their little pilgrimage, you have to buy a bunch of stuff from their temples. Let's see, I read to here. What are the requirements for advancement in the Imperial cult? Seekers who wish to advance in the service of the Nine must dedicate time and resources to serving the cult, and must strive for personal improvement in their attributes and skills. Only the most distinguished are worthy of advancement to the higher ranks of the Imperial cults. To serve and glorify the Nine Divines, the faithful must cultivate a noble personality and strong will. Respect the magical arts, especially the colleges of Restoration, Mysticism, and Conjuration. Those who swear to avoid bloodshed, to take the field unarmored, to fight only with blunt weapons, are especially praiseworthy. Knowledge of enchantments and the gift of diplomatic speech are other qualities we value in our initiates. Reading more books. Yeah, always, always. Hey, Azu! I'm happy you're here! Welcome in, welcome in. I don't know if you saw, I joined your Discord channel. I joined it specifically because I wanted to ask you a question about StreamerBot that I put in your stream earlier, but then I thought, you know what, this really isn't the right place to ask Azu for some C# code. But yeah, also I was thinking about joining your Discord anyway because you have such a fun chat. Everyone, this is Azu. He streams. He streams a little bit before I do. Different stuff. Blue probably came over from Azu. From Azu's stream or nearby. I can ask there about it. Awesome. You hope they don't scare me away. Don't worry, don't worry. I don't scare that easy. Also, I wanted to see the memes, because I'm so behind on all the memes. You've been summoned, Blue 6-7. So anyway, let me see if I can figure out this shout out thing, because you're always kind enough to shout out me when I come in to your stream, and I want to make it a little more automated. This is what I was asking about. But there you go. There's a shout out for Azu. Everyone make sure you follow Azu if you like fun, exciting stuff. You play a lot of Neverness to Everness, I think is what it's called. But also, he's got like just a great community. They're fun to hang out with. Of course, Azu. Alright. Who are you asking, Kittyfly? I don't write my own scripts for... I'm talking about StreamerBot scripts, specifically. You could do C#. I haven't been writing my own, I've just been using the actions. But Azu's got a really cool functionality that pulls up clips of the streamers he knows who comes in, and then he can play them. And I want that functionality. And I need to write script for that, and I don't know C#. I know a couple others, but not C#. Where was I at? Imperial Cult Services. You can find Imperial Cult Services. No, I read that. Did I? I did not. Let me try that again. Oh, it's easy to do. You just need a site for it. That would be great. Thank you, Azu. I know there's a way to do it with StreamerBot, for sure. But thank you. 'Cause I'm jealous of that ability whenever I go to your stream. I love it as someone who visits your stream, and I would love to give that to people I know who visit my stream. I think it's great. Alright, Imperial Cult Services. You can find Imperial Cult Services in Buckmoth, Legion Fort, Moonmoth. Oh, I read that wrong. Imperial Cult Services. You can find Imperial Cult Services in Buckmoth Legion Fort, Moonmoth Legion Fort, Pelagiad Legion Fort, Nisus Legion Fort, Wolverine Hall in Sadrith Mora, Vivec Foreign Quarter, and Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. Seek training at Wolverine Hall, Buckmoth Fort, Moonmoth Fort, Ebonheart Imperial Chapels, Governor's Hall in Caldera, and Ald Velothi Outpost. Many Imperial cult locations have healing altars. You may pray at Imperial cult healing altars and receive blessings which cure common and blight diseases, cure poisons, and restore damaged attributes. Non-members pay 25 drakes. Newer members pay 10 drakes, while higher-ranking members receive blessings for free. Healing altars are found in Vivec Foreign Quarter, Wolverine Hall in Saedrith Mora, Buckmoth Legion Fort, Moonmoth Legion Fort, Pelagiad Legion Fort, Nisus Legion Fort, and Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. Opportunities for service. Lay healers gather ingredients for health and healing potions and minister to the sick and hurt in poor and isolated communities. It is difficult and sometimes dangerous work, but the spiritual rewards are great. Lay healers need only the skills of the prudent traveler, being often on the road and in the wilderness, gathering herbs and potion components. They should avoid trouble where possible, and so need not be masters of the arts of war. Those interested should speak to Sinolian Tunifus at the Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. Almoners gather alms from members and friends of the faith. We depend on donations to fund most of our good works. Almoners who are successful at bringing in generous donations may rise in the ranks of Imperial cult service. Almoners must travel in town and village and should be skilled in persuasion and mercantile matters. Also, almoners with personal wealth are in a position to serve the cult better. Those interested should speak to Julius Trumpter at the Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. A shrine sergeant helps keep order at the shrines, carries messages and packages, and sometimes escorts priests and lay servants on dangerous missions. This occasional service is ideal for bold, free-spirited adventurers. Shrine sergeants are called upon to serve the Nine with weapon, armor, and spell. New shrine sergeants are given the easiest tasks, but later, missions may demand higher levels of combat proficiency. Those interested should speak to Kay at the Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. Oracle's quests are the most demanding of all Imperial cult missions. Only members of the higher ranks are invited to assist the Oracle, and the challenges require the skill and courage found only in heroes of legend. How do the Imperial cults view the other factions of Vardenfell? The Imperial cults have a very close relationship with the Imperial legions, and a friendly and supportive relationship with the Imperial guilds, especially the Fighters and Mages guilds. We also have a friendly and supportive relationship with House Halalu, which strongly supports the Emperor and Imperial principles. Though we cannot condone the actions of the Thieves Guild, we praise their faithful dedication to the Emperor and to Imperial culture. The Imperial cults have the greatest respect for the high moral principles of House Redoran and the Morag Tong, and honors their different but noble conceptions of divine inspiration. We disapprove of the primitive, heathen beliefs of the Ashlanders and of the impious and inhumane practices of the Telvanni. The Imperial cult especially disapproves of the practice of slavery and looks forward to the day when slavery is illegal in all Imperial provinces. The Imperial cult also disapproves of the lawless and greedy Kamona Tong and their ruthless exploitation of the poor and weak. Historically, our relationship with the Tribunal Temple is difficult and unfriendly. Though the Imperial cults disagreement. Though the Imperial cult acknowledges the lords and saints of the Temple Pantheon as worthy inspirations, the Temple falsely insists that theirs is the one truth faith and that the Imperial cults worship false gods. Alright. For my gods and Emperor. I don't think Bashla liked this book very much. She didn't find it very helpful. Empire, bah. Okay. So, read all the things. I'd already read this one. Yeah, that's Aedra and Daedra. I was gonna see if I could get my stuff back. Good thing she didn't read it then, because she's not reading them, right? She's flipping through them. Kind of being like, there should be more pictures. She's flipping through them and assessing them for her sister.
Strange. Anytime now.
This is marked evidence, and it is trapped. And it's also lock level 50, which I know I can't open. And I suspect that would be where my, my axe would be that I had stolen. Okay. Is she standing right there?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, she's standing there flipping through the books. Kinda. I'll go this way. I'm gonna see what's through these doors. That's kind of how I'm imagining what's going on. Yeah. You just have a plate full of gold. There's a secret axe where you start the game, but it's really well hidden. Welcome. Can I tell you about the Imperial Cult? We invite you to become a lay member. No, thank you, but that does explain the plate of gold. Oh. I didn't look at the marker. I meant the guard that stands right next to your chest. She would see you. Oh, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be able to get it because she could see. Even if I could pick it. You are correct. There were other things that were keeping me from getting into that chest. Oh, it's raining. Ah! They like blow in the wind. Look at that. The rain doesn't, but these do. Will you recreate that epic thing that happened earlier? I was literally just thinking that. Should I fall off here? Look, he's still down there. Actually, I think that's someone else. The other guy was an archer. Actually, I think that's the guy. You think I can land on him? Kind of floating already. Ah! He moved!
Let's hear it.
I was gonna land on you, Imperial Archer. I just hurt myself for no reason.
Go ahead, stranger.
Alright, I think I was going to do... I've read the Pilgrim's Path and marked the location of each shrine on my map. Okay. The rules of the Imperial Legion. It wasn't for no reason. It was recreating the best moment. Revere and Balmora gave me the Devil Amulet. I need to get back to Balmora. Right. That's what I gotta do. I gotta get back to Balmora. Let's head that way.
Let's hear it.
And I believe it was down this road. I had gotten started already. And then I decided I had to go back and try to get my axe, but I think hammer for now. Oh yeah, remember Balmora? Forgot about that. Balmora, this way. Go slow. I don't know if I'm in danger. Creshweed. Cresh fiber has been added to your inventory. Rue brush. And creshweed. I need to go sell more stuff. I did end up over encumbered and had to drop some things earlier. Alright, I can go fast again. This is fast. Oh, I love the sounds of the storm. So you know about stamina? How do you miss a lot of hits when the stamina is low? Yes. I read that wrong, but I understood it. How you do. Yes, I do know about stamina. And I've been trying to, like, stop running when I'm about a half or so. Oh, hey, look. I think I'm back. This is the Silt Strider. I can talk. I can talk. I know words. You love those bugs? Yeah, it's the VV beetle. The Vardenfell beetle, right? So what's over here? I was just looking for Tsiya, and I wasn't, like, looking in everything. Yeah, I should have been doing that, huh? It's a basket, a bottle, a goblet, a plate. I don't need those. I don't need to eat. Close. Close. Some of the ingredients you picked up I picked up are heavy? Oh. Eggs are heavy, okay. How do I do the alchemy? Like, do I need a mortar and pestle? Or is there another way to do it? Or should I just sell the alchemy ingredients? I need a mortar and pestle? Okay. Balmora, Dralasa, Nithrion, Pawnbroker. Alright, alright.
No,
Hello,
I don't
Dralasa.
think so.
You don't? You don't think so?
Was you?
I see a book. The Real Barenziah, Volume 2. I love The Real Barenziah. A little bit of Barenziah fangirl. That's me. That's not Bashla speaking. I need a mortar and pestle like in Oblivion. Alright. Wonderful. What other books are here? Aedra and Daedra, and annotated Anuad. The True Nature of Orcs. Interested in that one. I am interested in that one. So I've got 2 books to read in here. Probably should sell things to this lady. The problem with alchemy here is that if it is a low-level skill, you won't create anything. You'll fail every time. So might as well stash the ingredients or sell them. Okay. Pretty sure it is a low-level skill. Progress towards skill increase. 7 out of 100. Okay. I'll just sell you the ingredients. That makes more sense, I think, for Bashla anyway. You will have to get rid of that moon sugar if you want any services from me. I don't want any trouble. Right. I forgot. I have moon sugar in my inventory, so I can only sell to Revere. Okay. So I'm going to quick save. I need to take another bathroom break. So I'm going to do one more break. And once again, just like I did last time, I'm going to put the clock up for 10 minutes, but I'll probably be back in more like 5. They confiscated your stolen goods, but not your drugs? Apparently I didn't steal the drugs. That is a good point. They didn't care that I had the drugs. Alright, if you need a break, go ahead, take a break. I'm going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Ads will also start in about 1 minute. Just to turn the pre-rolls back off for anyone who's coming in. So I'll see you back here in 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Looks like I got back just as the ads were ending. Let me take that off. And The Real Barenziah, Volume 2. The Real Barenziah, Part 2. Anonymous. Barenziah and Straw settled into Riften for the winter, taking a cheap room in the slummier section of town. Barenziah wanted to join the Thieves' Guild, knowing there would be trouble if she were caught freelancing. One day, in a bar room, she caught the eye of a known member of the guild, a bold young Khajiit named Theris. She offered to bet him if he would sponsor her membership. He looked her over, grinning, and agreed, but said she'd still have to pass an initiation. What sort of initiation? Ah, Theris said, pay up first, sweetness. This passage has been censored by order of the temple. Straw was going to kill her, and maybe Theris too. What in Tamriel had possessed her to do such a thing? She cast an apprehensive look around the room, but the other patrons had lost interest and gone back to their own business. She did not recognize any of them. This wasn't the inn where she and Straw were staying. With luck, it'd be a while, or never, before Straw found out. Theris was by far the most exciting and attractive man she had ever met. He not only told her about the skills she needed to become a member of the Thieves' Guild, but also trained her in them himself, or else introduced her to people who could. Among these was a woman who knew something about magic. Katisha was a plump and matronly Nord. She was married to a smith who had two teenage children. Teenage, can I say that word? Had 2 teenage children and was perfectly ordinary and respectable, except that she was very fond of cats, and by logical inference their humanoid counterparts, the Khajiit. Had a talent for certain kinds of magic, and cultivated rather odd friends. She taught Barenziah an invisibility spell and schooled her in other forms of stealth and disguise. Katisha mingled magical and non-magical talents freely, using one set to enhance the other. She was not a member of the Thieves' Guild, but was fond of Theris in a motherly sort of way. Barenziah warmed to her as she never had toward any woman. And over the next few weeks, she told Katisha all about herself. She brought Straw there too sometimes. Straw approved of Katisha, but not of Theris. Theris found Straw interesting and suggested to Barenziah that they could arrange what he called a threesome. Absolutely not, Barenziah said firmly, grateful that Theris had broached the subject in private for once. He wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. Theris smiled his charming, triangular feline. Wait, what? Oh, Barenziah mentioned. Yes, the real Barenziah is uncensored in Daggerfall, and I did, out of curiosity, look up the text. But for me to read it on stream, I'll have to play Daggerfall. I see why it was censored, but also I think I'd be perfectly fine reading it on stream. Maybe I'll have to look. I don't know that it would get me in trouble. I wouldn't like it. Theris smiled his charming, triangular, feline smile and sprawled lazily on his chair, stretching his limbs and curling his tail. You might be surprised, both of you. Pairing is so boring. Speaking of, I'm still thinking about that other passage that was censored. People think the lusty Argonian maid is something, but it's not. The stuff in Biography of Barenziah is like way racier. Still not all that bad, but the lusty Argonian maid was not. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was sexual harassment by an employer is what it was. Anyway, where was I at? Pairing is so boring. Barenziah answered him with a glare. Or maybe you wouldn't like it with that country bumpkin of yours, sweetness. Would you mind if I brought along another friend? Yes, I would. If you're bored with me, you and your friend can find someone else. She was a member of the Thieves' Guild now. She had passed their initiation. She found Theris useful, but not essential. Maybe she was a bit bored with him, too. She talked... You can meet the author of The Lusty Argonian Maid in Morrowind. Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. So I did meet the author of all the guidebooks in Oblivion. Which I saw a guidebook, but I don't think I read it. I need to do that. I'm curious about who writes the guidebooks in this game. She talked to Katisha about her problems. I can't talk. She talked to Katisha about her problems with men, or what she thought of as her problems with men. Katisha shook her head and told her she was looking for love, not sex. That she'd know the right man when she found him, and that neither Straw nor Theris was the right one for her. Barenziah cocked her head to one side quizzically. They say dark elven women are something. Prostitutes? She said, although she was dubious. You mean promiscuous. Although some do become prostitutes, I suppose, Katisha said as an afterthought. Elves are promiscuous when they're young, but you'll outgrow it. Perhaps you're beginning to already, she added hopefully. She liked Barenziah and had grown to be quite fond of her. You ought to meet some nice elven boys, though. If you go on keeping company with Khajiits and humans and what have you, you'll find yourself pregnant in next to no time. Barenziah smiled involuntarily at the thought. I'd like that, I think. But it would be inconvenient, wouldn't it? Babies are a lot of trouble, and I don't even have my own house yet. How old are you, Barry? 17? Well, you've a year or two yet before you're fertile, unless you're very unlucky. Elves don't have children readily with other elves after that, even, so you'll be all right if you stick with them. Barenziah remembered something else. Straw wants to buy a farm and marry me. Is that what you want? No, not yet. Maybe someday. Yes, someday. But not if I can't be queen. And not just any queen, the Queen of Mournhold. She said this determinedly, almost stubbornly, as if to drown out any doubt. Katisha chose to ignore this last comment. She was amused at the girl's hyperactive... Blue, are you... Is this story messing you up, Blue? It's a trippy one. There's a reason I became a little bit obsessed with Barenziah. Where was I at? No, I had the wrong thing. Maybe someday. Katisha chose to ignore this last comment. She was amused at the girl's hyperactive imagination and took it as a sign of a well-functioning mind. I think Straw will be a very old man before someday comes, Barry. Elves live for a very long time. Katisha's face briefly wore the envious, wistful look humans got when contemplating the 1,000-year lifespan elves had been granted by the gods. True, few ever actually lived that long as disease and violence took their respective tolls, but they could, and one or two of them actually did. Just calling all elves promiscuous is crazy. She kind of did just say all elves, didn't she? Elves are promiscuous, yeah. I guess I should say I remember it being about here, dark elves being more promiscuous. Being like a thing that comes up again and again. Like the dark elves are said to be the most promiscuous. Yeah, there's some racism in here, right? And it's just kind of like, I think the author, the out of game person who wrote this and had to pretend to be this anonymous person, who I think you can also meet in Daggerfall. Like, I think he did a good job of putting that person's point of view into these books. It's really fascinating when I think about the layered way of, of writing something from someone else's point of view. Which I guess you always do almost always do in fiction, but usually not like through a fictitious author as well, if that makes sense. It's definitely interesting. Alright, you'll find yourself pregnant. Where was I at? I'm just flipping around. Okay. I think Straw will be very old. True, few ever actually lived that long as disease and violence took their respective tolls, but they could, and one or two of them actually did. Thanks for the lurk, Blue. I'm happy to have you here. I like old men too, Barry said. Katisha laughed. Barenziah fidgeted impatiently while Theris sorted through the papers on the desk. Barenziah fidgeted impatiently while Theris sorted through the papers on the desk. He was being meticulous and methodical, carefully replacing everything just as he'd found it. They'd broken into a nobleman's household, leaving Straw to hover outside as lookout. Theris had said it was a simple job, but very hush-hush. He hadn't even wanted to bring any other guild members along. He said he knew he could trust Barry and Straw, but no one else. Tell me what you're looking for and I'll find it, Barry whispered urgently. Theris's night sight wasn't as good as hers, and he didn't want her to magic up even a small orb of light. She had never been in such a luxurious place, not even the dark moor castle of Count Sven and Lady Inga, where she had spent her childhood, compared to it. She'd gazed around in wonder as they made their way through the ornately decorated and hugely echoing downstairs rooms. But Theris didn't seem interested in anything but the desk in the small book-lined study on the upper floor. "Sst!" he hissed angrily. "Someone's coming," Barry said, a moment before the door opened and two dark figures stepped into the room. Theris gave her a violent shove toward them and sprang to the window. Barenziah's muscles went rigid, and she couldn't move or even speak. She watched helplessly as one of the figures, the smaller one, leaped after Theris. There were two quick, silent stabs of blue light, and then Theris folded over into a still heap. Outside the study, the house had come alive with hastening footsteps and voices calling out in alarm, and the clink of armor hurriedly put on. The bigger man, a dark elf by the looks of him, half lifted, half dragged Theris to the door and thrust him into the waiting arms of another elf. A jerk of the first elf's head sent his smaller, blue-robed companion after them. Then he sauntered over to inspect Barenziah, who was once again able to move, although her head throbbed maddeningly when she tried to. "Open your shirt, Barenziah," the elf said. Barenziah gawked at him and clutched it closed. "You're a girl, aren't you, Barry?" he said softly. "You should have stopped dressing as a boy months ago, you know. You were only drawing attention to yourself. And calling yourself Barry. Is your friend Straw too stupid to remember anything else?" "It's a common elven name," Barenziah defended. The man shook his head sadly. "Not among dark elves, it isn't, my dear. But you wouldn't know much about dark elves, would you? I regret that, but it couldn't be helped. No matter. I shall try to remedy it." "Who are you?" Barenziah demanded. So much for fame," the man shrugged, smiling wryly. "I am Symmachus, my lady Barenziah, General Symmachus of His Awesome and Terrible Majesty Tiber Septim I's Imperial Army. And I must say it's a merry chase you've led me throughout Tamriel, or this part of it anyway. Although I guessed correctly that you'd head for Morrowind eventually. You had a bit of luck. A body was found in Whiterun that was thought to be Straw's, so we stopped looking for the pair of you. That was careless of me. Yet I'd not have thought you'd have stayed together this long." "Where is he? Is he all right?" she asked in genuine trepidation. "Oh, he's fine. For now. In custody, of course." He turned away. "You care for him, then?" he said, and then suddenly stared at her with fierce curiosity. Out of red eyes that seemed strange to her, except in her own seldom-seen reflection. "He's my friend," Barenziah said. The words came out in a tone that sounded dull and hopeless to her own ears. Symmachus, a general in the Imperial Army no less, said to have the friendship and ears of Tiber Septim himself. "Aye, he seemed to have several unsuitable friends, if you'll forgive me saying so, milady." "Stop calling me that." She was irritated at the general's seeming sarcasm, but he only smiled. As they talked, the bustle and flurry in the house died away, although she could still hear people, presumably the residents, whispering together not far off. The tall elf perched himself on a corner of the desk. He seemed quite relaxed and prepared to stay a while. Then it occurred to her. Several unsuitable friends, had he said? This man knew all about her, or seemed to know enough anyway, which amounted to the same thing. What's going to happen to them, to me? "Ah, as you know, this house belongs to the commander of the Imperial troops in the area, which means to say that it belongs to me." Barenziah gasped, and Symmachus looked up sharply. "What, you didn't know?" "Why, you are rash, milady, even for 17. You must always know what it is you do or get yourself into." But the guild wouldn't have... Barenziah was trembling. The Thieves' Guild would never have attempted a mission that crossed Imperial policy. No one dared oppose Tiber Septim, at least no one that she knew of. Someone at the guild had bungled. Badly. And now she was going to pay for it. "I dare say it's unlikely that Theris had guild approval for this. In fact, I wonder." Symmachus examined the desk carefully, pulling out drawers. He selected one, placed it on top of the desk, and removed a false bottom. There was a folded sheet of parchment inside. It seemed to be a map of some sort. Barenziah edged closer. Symmachus held it away from her, laughing. "Rash indeed." He glanced it over, then folded and replaced it. "You advised me a moment ago to seek after knowledge." So I did. Suddenly, he seemed to be in high good humor. "We must be going, my dear lady." He shepherded her to the door, down the stairs, and out into the night air. No one was about. Barenziah's eyes darted toward the shadows. She wondered if she could outrun him, or elude him somehow. You're not thinking of attempting escape, are you? Don't you want to hear first what my plans for you are? She thought that he sounded a bit hurt. Now that you mention it, yes. Perhaps you'd rather hear about your friends first. No. He looked gratified at this. It was evidently the answer he wanted, thought Barenziah, but it was also the truth. While she was concerned for her friends, especially Straw, she was far more concerned for herself. You will take your place as the rightful queen of Mournhold. Symmachus explained that this had been his and Tiber Septim's plan for her all along. That Mournhold, which had been under military rule for the dozen or so years since she had been away, was gradually to be returned to civilian government, under the Empire's guidance, of course, and as part of the imperial province of Morrowind. But why was I sent to Darkmoor? Barenziah asked, hardly believing anything she had just been told. For safekeeping, naturally. Why did you run away? Barenziah shrugged. I saw no reason to stay. I should have been told. You would have been by now. I had in fact sent for you to be removed to the Imperial City to spend some time as part of the Emperor's household. But of course you had, shall we say, absconded by then. As for your destiny, it should be, and should have been, quite obvious to you. Tiber Septim does not keep those he has no use for, and what else could you be that would be of use to him? I know nothing of him, nor, for that matter, you. Then know this. Tiber Septim rewards friends and foes alike, according to their deserts. Barenziah chewed on that for a few moments. Straw has deserved well of me, and has never done anyone any harm. He's not a member of the Thieves' Guild. He came along to protect me. He earns our keep by running errands, and he... Symmachus waved her impatiently to silence. I know all about Straw, he said, and about Theris. He stared at her intently. So, what would you? She took a deep breath. Straw wants a little farm. If I'm to be rich, then I would like for one to be given to him. Very well. He seemed astonished at this, and then pleased. Done. He shall have it. And Theris? He betrayed me, Barenziah said coldly. Theris should have told her what risks the job entailed. Besides, he'd pushed her right into the enemy's arms in an attempt to save himself. Not a man to be rewarded. Not, in fact, a man to be trusted. Yes, and? Well, he should be made to suffer for it, shouldn't he? That seems reasonable. What form should the suffering take? Barenziah balled her hands into fists. She would have liked to beat and claw at the Khajiit herself, but considering the turn events had taken, that didn't seem very queenly. A whipping. Would 20 stripes be too many, do you think? I don't want to cause him any permanent injury, you understand. Just teach him a lesson. Aye, of course. Symmachus grinned at this. Then his features suddenly set and became serious. It shall be done, your highness, my lady Queen Barenziah of Mournhold. Then he bowed to her, a sweeping, courtly, ridiculously wonderful bow. Barenziah's heart leapt. She spent 2 days at Symmachus's apartment, during which she was kept very busy. There was a dark elven woman named Dreliane who saw to her needs, although she did not exactly seem a servant, since she took her meals with them. Nor did she seem to be Symmachus's wife or lover. Dreliane looked amused when Barenziah asked her about it. She simply said she was in the general's employ and did whatever was asked of her. With Dreliane's assistance, several fine gowns and pairs of shoes were ordered for her, plus a riding habit and boots, along with other small necessities. Barenziah was given a room to herself. Symmachus was out a great deal. She saw him at most mealtimes, but he said little about himself or what he had been doing. He was cordial and polite, quite willing to converse on most subjects, and seemed interested in anything she had to say. Dreliane was much the same. Barenziah found them pleasant enough, but hard to get to know, as Katisha would have put it. She felt an odd twinge of disappointment. These were the first dark elves with whom she'd associated closely. She had expected to feel comfortable with them, to feel, at last, that she belonged somewhere, with somebody, as part of something. Instead, she found herself yearning for her Nordic friends, Katisha and Straw. When Symmachus told her they were to set out for the imperial city on the morrow, she asked if she could say goodbye to them. Katisha, he asked. Aye. But then, I suppose I owe her something. She it was who led me to you by telling me of a lonely dark elf girl named Barry who needed elven friends, and who sometimes dressed as a boy. She had no association with the Thieves' Guild, apparently, and no one associated with the Thieves' Guild seems to know your true identity, save Theris. That is well. I prefer that your former guild membership not be made public knowledge. Please speak of it to no one, your highness. Such a past does not become an imperial queen. No one knows but Straw and Theris, and they won't tell anyone. No. He smiled, a curious little smile. No, they won't. He didn't know that Katisha knew then, but still, there was something about the way he said it. Straw came to their apartment on the morning of their departure. They were left alone in the salon, although Barenziah knew that other elves were within earshot. He looked drawn and pale. They hugged one another silently for a few minutes. Straw's shoulders were shaking, and tears were rolling down his cheeks, but he said nothing. Barenziah tried a smile. So we both get what we want, eh? I'm to be Queen of Mournhold, and you'll be Lord of your own farmstead. She took his hand and smiled at him, warmly, genuinely. I'll write you, Straw, I promise. You must find a scribe, so you can write me too. Straw shook his head sadly. When Barenziah persisted, he opened his mouth and pointed at it, making inarticulate noises. Then she realized what it was. His tongue was gone, had been cut off. Barenziah collapsed onto a chair and wept noisily. But why? She demanded of Symmachus, when Straw had been ushered away. Why? Symmachus shrugged. He knows too much. He could be dangerous. At least he's alive, and he won't need his tongue to raise pigs or whatever. I hate you! Barenziah screamed at him, then abruptly doubled over and vomited on the floor. She continued to revile him between intermittent bouts of nausea. He listened stolidly for some time while Dreliane cleaned up after her. Finally, he told her to cease, or he would gag her for her journey to the Emperor. They stopped at Katisha's house on their way out of the city. Symmachus and Dreliane didn't dismount. All seemed normal, but Barenziah was frightened as she knocked on the door. Katisha answered the knock. Barenziah thanked the gods silently that at least she was all right, but she'd also obviously been weeping. In any case, she embraced Barenziah warmly. Why are you crying? Barenziah asked. For Theris, of course. You haven't heard? Oh dear, poor Theris. He's dead. Barenziah felt icy fingers creeping around her heart. He was caught stealing from the commandant's house. Poor fellow, but that was so foolish of him. Oh, Barry, he was drawn and quartered this very dawn by the commandant's order. She started to sob. I went. He asked for me. It was terrible. He suffered so before he died. I'll never forget it. I looked for you in Straw, but no one knew where you'd gone to. She glanced behind Barenziah. That's the commandant, isn't it? Symmachus. Then Katisha did a strange thing. She stopped crying and grinned. You know, the moment I saw him, I thought, this is the one for Barenziah. Katisha took a fold of her apron and wiped it across her eyes. I told him about you, you know. Yes, Barenziah said. I know. She took Katisha's hand in each of hers and looked at her earnestly. Katisha, I love you. I'm going to miss you, but please don't ever tell anyone else anything about me. Ever. Swear you won't. Especially not to Symmachus, and look after Straw for me. Promise me that. Katisha promised, puzzled though willing. Barry, it wasn't somehow because of me that Theris was caught, was it? I never said anything to Theris. I never said anything about Theris to him. She glanced over at the general. Barenziah assured her that it wasn't, that an informant had told the Imperial Guard of Theris's plans, which was probably a lie, but she could see that Katisha plainly needed some comfort. Oh, I'm glad of that. If I can be glad of anything just now. I'd hate to think, but how could I have known? She leaned over and whispered in Barenziah's ear. Symmachus is very handsome, don't you think? And so charming. I wouldn't know anything about that, Barenziah said dryly. I haven't really thought about it. There have been other things to think about. She explained hurriedly about being Queen of Mournhold and going to live in the Imperial City for a while. He was looking for me, that's all, on orders from the Emperor. I was the object of a quest, nothing more than some sort of a goal. I don't think he thinks of me as a woman at all. He said I didn't look like a boy, though, she added, in the face of Katisha's incredulity. Katisha knew that Barenziah evaluated every male she met in terms of sexual desirability. Katisha knew that Barenziah evaluated every male she met in terms of sexual desirability and availability. I suppose it's the shock of finding out that I really am queen, she added, and Katisha agreed that yes, that's true. That must have been something of a shock, although there was no likelihood of her experiencing firsthand. She smiled. Barenziah smiled with her. Then they hugged again, tearfully, for the last time. She never saw Katisha again. Or Straw. The royal party left Riften by the Great Southern Gate. Once through, Symmachus tapped her on the shoulder and pointed back at the portals. I thought you might want to say goodbye to Theris, too, Your Highness, he said. Barenziah stared briefly, but steadily, at the head, impaled on a spike above the gate. The birds had been at it, but the face was still recognizable. I don't think he'll hear me, although I'm quite sure he'll be pleased to know I'm fine, she said, seeming to sound light. Let's be on our way, General, shall we? Symmachus was clearly disappointed by her lack of reaction. You heard of this from your friend Katisha, I suppose. You suppose correctly. She attended the execution, Barenziah said casually. If he didn't know already, he'd find out soon enough, she was sure of that. Did she know Theris belonged to the guild? She shrugged. Everyone knew that. It's only lower-ranking members like me who are supposed to keep their membership secret. The ones higher up are well known. She turned to smile archly at him. But you must know all that, shouldn't you, General? She said sweetly. He seemed unaffected by this. So you told her who you were and whence you came, but not about the guild. The guild membership was not my secret to tell. The other was. There's a difference. Besides, Katisha is a very honest woman. Had I told her, it would have lessened me in her eyes. She was always after Theris to take up a more honest line of work. I value her good opinion. She afforded him a glacial stare. Not that it's any concern of yours, but do you know what else she thought? She also thought I'd be happier if I settled down with just one man, one of my own race. One of my own race with all the right qualities. One of my own race with all the right qualities, who knows how to say all the right things. You, in fact. She grabbed the reins, preparatory to assuming a brisker pace, but not without sinking one final, irresistible barb. Isn't it odd how wishes come true sometimes, but not in the way you want them to? Or maybe I should say, not in the way you would ever. Not in the way you would ever. Oh my goodness. Not in the way you would ever want them to. Not in the way you would ever want them to? Oh. I'm just gonna stick with that. Not in the way you would ever want them to. His answer so took her by surprise that she quite forgot about cantering off. Yes, very odd, he replied, and his tone matched his words exactly. Then he excused himself and fell behind. She held her head high and urged her mount onward, trying to look unimpressed. Now, what was it about his response that bothered her? Not what he said. No, that wasn't it. But something about the way he said it. Something about it made her think that she, Barenziah, was one of his wishes that had come true. Unlikely as this seemed, she gave it due deliberation. He had found her at last, after months of searching, it seemed, under pressure from the Emperor, no doubt. So his wish had come true. Yes, that must be it. But in a way, apparently, not altogether to his liking. I think that was the longest, or maybe number 3 is the longest. The biography of Barenziah books are quite long. The Real Barenziah. Volume 2. Fun story. Okay. Alright, biography of Barenziah. No, The Real Barenziah. Volume 2. Did you say yesterday that there won't be a stream tomorrow, or am I tripping? Yes, I'm taking Friday off. So right now what I'm trying to do is take Mondays and Fridays off. And then I'll stream again on Saturday. So day after tomorrow will be my next stream. Alright, you won't sell to me. Was there another book? Right, The True Nature of Orcs. I have one more book, and then I've got to go back to Revere and sell him my moon sugar, which apparently doesn't affect me. I don't know if that's any more because I took some or what. How many pages is this? Okay, this is a short one. The True Nature of Orcs. Orcs were born during the latter days of the Dawn era. History has mislabeled them beast folk, related to the goblin races, but the orcs are actually the children of Trinimac, strongest of the Altmeri ancestor spirits. When Trinimac was eaten by the Daedroth prince Barenziah and transformed into that foul god's insides, the orcs were transformed as well. The ancient name for the orcs is Orsimer, which means the pariah folk. They now follow Malok, the remains of Trinimac. Who is Malok? He is more commonly known as the Daedroth Prince Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the sworn oath and the bloody curse. He is not technically a Daedra lord, nor do the other Daedra recognize him as such, but this is fitting for his sphere. Of old he was Trinimac, the champion of the High Elven Pantheon, in some places more popular than Auriel, who protected them against enemies without and within. When Trinimac and his followers attempted to halt the Velothi dissident movement, Barenziah ate him. Trinimac's body and spirit were corrupted, and he emerged as Malakath. His followers were likewise changed for the worse. Despised by everyone, especially the inviolate Auriel, they quickly fled to the northern wastes near Sarthal. They fought Nords and Chimer for a place in the world, but did not get much. In Skyrim, Malakath is called Orki, or Old Knocker, and his battles with Ysmir are legendary. There's some Imperial orc-splaining you right now. You know, I gotta say, I think I've read some worse orc-splaining, but yeah, I think that's what's going on. A bit of orc-splaining. The True Nature of Orcs. We'll say it's good, it's kind of not really enjoyable. It's Miss Orc Sister. There we go. Gotta think of Bashla's quick thoughts on the book as she flipped through it. Alright. Yes, so the ratings are Bashla's ratings based on how much she wants to give them to her sister. The True Nature of Orcs. Yep. The True Nature of Orcs. Rate all the books. Is this the guy? Yes. You mean a book called The Pig Children? Yeah, I remember. I read The Pig Children very recently, yeah. That might have been the one I'm thinking of. I've read other things about Orc. Was The Pig Children the one where they talked about rubbing the excrement on their skin and that changed them? I remember that being one theory of where they came from. I think I've already looked in here. Okay, I want to sell to you. I have some moon sugar. Do you buy moon sugar?
Talk.
Don't steal from Khajiit, friend. I don't remember the details, but it was pretty mean. Yeah, the pig children was definitely mean. I think the pig children was just talking about how they're awful, and even in history everyone knew that the orcs were awful and uncivilized. Pretty sure. Right, it's up here. Still remembering where stuff is. Moon sugar. Oh, hey. He pays a good amount for that, apparently. So I hit offer, and he takes it? Cool. Will you also take my other stuff? Like, you have 468 gold. How about this cursed ring? Oh, he'll take the cursed ring! Moon sugar is expensive, like in real life. Exclusive restore luck. Has a value of 175. Am I gonna want these restore potions? Am I gonna need them? Oh, hey, skooma! I don't realize I picked up skooma. Why am I selling the axe? Because I'm using two-handed weapons. And this one doesn't do as much damage. That's my two-handed weapon. It does poison, though. This shocks. Anyway, I'm using two-handed weapons. So I've got these two. You should always keep strength restore. Someone mentioned, yes. Some enemies drain your strength. So I've got luck, willpower, speed. I might want those. I'll keep those. How about I sell the sheen? And the skooma? Or should I keep and use the skooma? I might keep and use the skooma. It looks like he uses up gold, so I really won't be able to sell any more than what he's got in his gold, right? You can always strip naked and drop everything on the floor and go to a place where you can heal. If you don't have alchemy, you don't even know what the potions do. Interesting. Oh yeah, it doesn't even say, does it? You probably have to try them first. Oh, that's faster. Ah! Apparently I hit enter too quickly. Having skooma in your inventory means you can't barter. Yeah. Skooma, also the drug. That's the drug. They weren't worried about my moon sugar then. They were worried about the skooma. I gotta sell the skooma too. Okay, I'll sell the skooma. I should have just taken the skooma. I didn't even realize I had it. Oh, wait. Give me some of those things back. I need one more. There we go. Offer. Okay. Moon sugar is the raw ingredient you make skooma with. I think you are correct. That sounds accurate. So now he has, like, no gold? Yeah, he's got no gold. I had to buy from him if I want him to have some gold. Does he have any weapons that I would want to buy? Any two-handed axes or hammers? Two-handed spear? I think I might have sold him stuff. I'm not sure. His weapons are the goat. But they're all like one-handed. Oh wait, two-handed spear. Yeah. Goodbye. I'm gonna go sell stuff to other people who have money. Not that way. This way. Yeah. Oh, right click. Just quick save. The fiend ones, like demon or devil, whatever.
By the gods, you first are useless.
She's so mean. She just sighs.
Useless. Stand aside.
Alright, where am I at? Where am I at? I've read the Pilgrim's Path. I got rid of the rats. I just need to talk to more people. Do you have a quest for me? Anything about cave rats? Do you need help with cave rats? I help with cave rats. Specialize in that, in fact. She's just going to give me information about a cave rat. The cave rat is a subterranean variety of the hardy, abundant hunter-scavenger. Rat meat is tough and greasy with an unpleasant odor and taste. Nonetheless, it is cheap, abundant, and nutritious, and palatable when cooked in a stew and masked by strong spices. One cool thing about this game is you can just go get the best gear in the game if you already know about them. There's a minimal level scaling. Ooh. What's this place? This is an armorer. Hello, armorer.
Trouble. Must be going now.
This is your store. I hit the wrong thing. Too much trouble. Must be going now. don't think I have any. You buy this? No. It's sometimes hard to restrain yourself to not use all the insane gear early on if you know a bit. Yeah, if you know a bit about it, probably you would want to go get all the good stuff that you know. Armor rating, 27. Value 65. This is 27, and this is 24. Oh, it's actually not that much better. Is it? And how much does it cost? 81? Never mind. Put it back. I'm like medium and light. I think I already bought from him. But and I already sold to him too. You.
Go ahead.
You. Halalu guard. He has a steel two-handed axe? Does he? Orvastren. Can you tell me about Orvastren?
He's the brother of Duke Vedemdren and a very wealthy and influential man. He has a netch ranch in the Ascadian Isles.
Okay. That's what he sounds like, right? Yeah. Yeah, the Bosmer, you said. I gotcha. Let me go to weapons. This is his two-handed axe. It does 36, 27, 4. So just looking at the damage there. And let's see. 32, 27, 2, 32, 24, 3. 36, 27, 4. How much does it cost? Yeah, I don't want to pay that much for it. I don't think it's a big enough... I think that... Thank you for the tip. First of all. I think I need a bigger leap to spend that much money right now. Bigger leap in ability. What's this? The Cantatas of Vivec. The Anticipations. Oh, look! Saryoni's sermons! Was that the ones you were talking about? Or no, it was the 38 things of Vivec. Right. Oh, you see how there's chop slash thrust? If you move in a specific way when attacking, you do different attacks. Oh, is that how I do it? Is it by me moving? I know you can hold the attack to make it stronger, but I didn't know how to do the different ones. I know in, like, Daggerfall, you can control it based on your mouse movement. I can try it out now, just don't hurt anyone. Where is no one? No one's down here. There's another book! The Affairs of Wizards! Oh my gosh, I'm finding so many books today. So let's see. If I pull out my hammer that I've got, then I go like... If I go forward? Was that the different thing? That looks the same to me. If I like go sideways, that looks the same. If I like... No. I'll have to figure it out. Sideways is slash, forward is thrust. So I'm like moving. It all looks the same. Maybe it's got different animations, or not different animations. So this is a thrust. And this is a slash. Ah! Do it outdoors where I have more space. Okay, you know, that's probably a good idea. So that lady's gonna be like, stupid tourists are a menace while I'm out here swinging my hammer around. I think I'm getting the same thing. Try another weapon? Alright, let's try another weapon. I've got this one. I don't know if this one will have many different things. Let's see. Do you have the always use best attack thing selected in the options? Oh, in the open MW options? I'm not sure. I am cheating. There's an option called always best attack. Ah, do I need to turn that off? Is that what it is? Do I need to turn that off? Or should I leave it on? I'm gonna go back in here because there were books. Do turn that off. It's more vanilla. Okay. I was trying to do things that were more vanilla
Oh, I'm sure this is important.
But like I said, I didn't know the choices. Like, in the options, it doesn't tell you what's the vanilla version. It just says this does this and this does that. And sometimes engaging it is vanilla, and sometimes disengaging it is vanilla. It's good to know. It's good to have people here who know the game, who know what they're talking about, and can diagnose these things. I think it'll be fun. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try without the always choose best attack. Because I like the fact that there's different types. Well, the music just got a bit something for a moment. Alright, I'm gonna go down here. And I'm gonna look at this book called The Affairs of Wizards. How long is it? It's not very long. I'm gonna have a drink of water and give it a read. Oh, don't you have to end the stream? What do you mean? I'm not on a timer. So I'm gonna read this, and I think there's a book upstairs as well that I'm gonna read, and then I want to find out, I don't like starting up a stream not knowing what I'm doing. So I want to determine my next plan of attack, and then I probably will be done with the stream after reading the 2 books. That will probably get me to around the time. The other day, I helped a streamer unfuck her save where she hit Caius while fighting a Dark Brotherhood assassin. Ah! So you are great to have around, Eberk. I am glad you are here. Alright, let's read a little bit, and then I'll figure out my next steps. Oh, you met Caius. Cool. What did you think of him? Caius is the guy who's like, you're gonna be an initiate in the Blades or whatever, and you have to follow my orders, right? And Bashla was just like, nope, no thank you, sorry. And she kind of peaced out. She told him no, and turned down the call to adventure. She will at some point probably become desperate enough for money that she goes back, because I would like to actually play the game. Tell her to get some money. Level illusion. Use calm humanoid. Yes, calm. Calm the humanoid. Awesome. Alright. The Affairs of Wizards by Turidus Talanian. In the service of Master Arion. Want to become part of House Telvanni? Outsiders learning of the rabid isolationist and outlander-hating temperament of House Telvanni wizards often assume it would be impossible to obtain positions in service to House Telvanni. Nothing could be further from the truth. For example, since the Telvanni vigorously defend the right to own slaves, and since they keep many Argonian and Khajiit slaves, many Argonians and Khajiit assume they would not be accepted for service within House Telvanni. Not true. Telvanni accepts all races as candidates for membership. And since the Telvanni are ruled by wizard lord nobles, many assume they accept only candidates of the highest intelligence and willpower. Not true. Telvanni accepts candidates of modest intelligence and willpower. It is true that advancement in Telvanni ranks depends on high intelligence and willpower, and that candidates proficient in the arts of magic, especially mysticism, conjuration, illusion, alteration, destruction, and enchanting, can expect to advance faster and higher in the ranks. But adventurers of all races and abilities who apply to Telvanni mouths at the Telvanni Council Hall in Sadrath Mora for acceptance in House Telvanni can expect a cordial welcome. Telvanni counselors do not serve on their house councils in person. Instead, they are represented by a mouth, a trusted subordinate in residence at the council hall, acting on his patron's behalf, receiving messengers from their patrons and casting their patrons' votes in council affairs. The truth is that House Telvanni wizard lords depend on loyal, well-paid, skilled retainers for most services. Though House Telvanni does recruit from their own lower classes, they must go outside their house to hire the craftsmen and specialists they need. And since, for political reasons, House Telvanni has chosen to reduce its reliance on Redoran mercenaries for protection and security, it has been forced to turn to Western mercenaries for guards and agents. Promotion in the ranks of House Telvanni, however, is very difficult for outsiders. Most disconcerting for some potential candidates is House Telvanni's casual acceptance of murder and assassination of rivals as a means to advancement. Those reluctant to prove their worthiness by killing off the competition, and those uncomfortable about competing in such a ruthless atmosphere, might better employ their time and efforts in the Mages Guild. Interesting. Say, I wonder which great house will Bashla join. Maybe Redoran? Probably not Telvanni, because she isn't into magic. No, she's not into magic. I love the Telvanni, and Redoran are just super annoying. I'm still not quite clear on what they're all about, like the different houses. Telvanni is magic. Let's see. I don't know what the other ones are. There's the one magic one. Halalu is intrigue and commerce. Redoran are super honorable warriors. Probably Redoran would be best for her then, although she's not super honorable. If you can't handle us, maybe you should join the Mages Guild. Telvanni are magic racists who like slavery. Redoran are about honor and living in crab shells. English is hard, Eberk. Don't worry, as long as I understood what you meant, and I got you meant intrigue, that's fine. What's the difference between a Q and a G anyway? It's just a little curl. And Halalu is merchants. I think Redoran will be the best for her then. She might be a little crazy in that sometimes she does things without knowing why. And sometimes people say things that trigger her. So she goes a little violent.
Speak, traveler.
But other than that, yeah. Okay, there's two things to read up here. The Cantatas. The Tatas of Vivec. That's what it is. I can only join one, and there's no take backsies. Alright, good to know. My choice will be final. Alright. The Cantatas of Vivec. The Cantatas of Vivec are gospels written in the form of epic songs. They trace the evolution of Vivec from a foolish mortal into an enlightened divine. Vivec sought out experiences that tested him in every way possible, particularly in the defense and protection of his Dunmer people, and through his long life, his humility, and his unconquerable spirit, he attained the wisdom of the seven graces. The Cantatas relate many stories of Vivec's experiments with challenge and risk, his failures and triumphs, his blessings of insight and good fortune, and his debt to his partners, Almalexia the lover and Sothasil the teacher. The poetry is simple and dramatic, lyric and personal, composed to be sung or recited. The following is an excerpt from Lord Vivec's Brooding Beneath Red Mountain. The gaunt ghost fires loom as subtle shrouds, smokes and shades on the biers of Red Mountain. Archers and spires line the rock halls, dimly lit by the spirits of the dead. The blood of broken hearths and houses runs in red rivers, blossoms in fountains, girdled round within walls of wit's glass. The shattered hosts slumber in cradles of ash. But when shall they wake? What dark crucible may kindle their souls to light? How long beneath red reeking clouds must flickering watchfires burn? How many lifetimes of labor and lament will it take to seal this restless tomb? Alright, the Cantatas of Vivec. I can type. Okay. For all the racism, I don't think any NPC actually treats you that much differently depending on the race, just on personality. Yeah, I think it mostly just affects... Actually, isn't there... like different, basically DCs based on your race for like personality roles, essentially? There's slight disposition changes between some races that dislike each other. That's what I was getting at, Eberk, yeah. But it's not super noticeable. Yeah, because it's like 5 points or so. It's not a whole bunch. You can definitely get over it, right? How long is this book? Saryoni's Sermons. Okay, that's not that long. Let's do it, and then I'll figure out the next thing. The next thing to do. Saryoni's Sermons, Blessed Almsivy, Mercy, Mastery, Mystery. This volume of the Hierographa, i.e. priestly writings, was written and collected with commentary by Archcanon Tholer Saryoni. It is the best-selling of the temple annotated texts and therefore inexpensive and commonly found in most Dunmer households. Saryoni collects Vivec's most famous sermons and popular explanations of his Gospels. This text exists in many editions. More elaborate editions are handsomely illuminated with Vivec's quotations from the Gospels for days, seasons, and festivals. Listen, faithful, to Vivec's words, for he says 5 times and 5 ways. Forge a keen faith in the crucible of suffering. Engrave upon thy eye the image of injustice. Death does not diminish, the ghost gilds with glory. Faith conquers all, let us yield to faith. Better to suffer a wrong than to do one. Hear the words of Lord Vivec, and heed his sermons on the 7 graces, for he names them 7 times and 7 ways. Valor, daring, justice, courtesy, pride, generosity, humility. The grace of valor. Thank you for your valor, Lord Vivec. I shall not quail, nor turn away, but face my enemies and my fear. The grace of daring. Thank you for your daring, Lord Vivec. I shall not shun risk, nor hide behind the mask of cautious counsel, for fortune favors the bold. The grace of justice. Thank you for your justice, Lord Vivec. I shall be neither cruel nor arbitrary, for fair dealing earns the love, trust, and respect of our people. The grace of courtesy. Thank you for your courtesy, Lord Vivec. I shall speak neither hurtful nor harsh word, but shall speak respectfully, even of my enemies, for temperate words may turn aside anger. The grace of pride. Thank you for your pride, Lord Vivec. I shall not doubt myself or my people or my gods, and shall insist upon them and my ancient rights. The grace of generosity. Thank you for your generosity, Lord Vivec. I shall neither hoard nor steal, nor encumber myself with profitless treasures, but shall share freely among house and hearth. The grace of humility. Thank you for your humility, Lord Vivec. I shall neither strut nor preen in vanity, but shall know and give thanks for my place in the greater world. All right, Saryoni's sermons. I'm going to say that Bashla was not at all impressed by that useless waste of paper. Like, she doesn't care. I had fun with it, though. Are you heading out, Kitty Fly? Have a good day. I hope to see you next time. I'll be streaming Oblivion on Saturday. Yes, on Saturday, day after tomorrow. And Morrowind either Sunday or Tuesday. So I hope to see you again. Have a good day. Eberk, you said one of the most fun things in Morrowind is that NPCs having super low imposition towards you won't talk to you, but if you don't wear clothes, they will make a comment on you being naked, and not just tell you to leave. So, get a comment on me being naked. Alright, I was gonna find the next thing to do, which probably I should just talk to people. Do you have something? I'm an officer of Imperial Law. Right, I think I already talked to him, and he didn't have any rumors.
You risk your neck coming here.
And she didn't have anything to talk to me about either. She just mean. What is this? This is the Mages Guild. No. Oh, I've got to go back to the Fighters Guild because I did the quest with the rats.
Care to tell me what this is about?
No, I'm going up here to her.
May the wind be on your back.
Have you taken care of that cave rat problem yet? Surely you can handle even that. I did take care of it. Cave rat. So you killed the rats, Bashla Gronker? Not bad. For you. You ready for more orders? Yeah, sure. A local egg mine has problems with egg poachers, and you're going to solve those problems. Yes, egg poachers. May sound silly, but those Kwama eggs are among the few things worth exporting from this nasty little province. Drambero, the owner of Shulk Egg Mine, wants to make an example of these thieves to keep other miners from getting funny ideas. The egg poachers, Civillo Othen and Daenila Vallis, are former egg miners and longtime local troublemakers. You can handle that, can't you? Report back when the poachers are dead. Shulk Egg Mine. The mine is a short distance southwest of Balmora in the bluffs west of the Odai River. The old suspension bridge across the Odai is just southwest of the mine entrance. Follow the river south of Balmora until you see the bridge overhead. You're not afraid of a little swim, are you? Okay, Shulk Egg Mine. Get the egg poachers. Moving up in the Fighters Guild. Okay, maybe... Like, they obviously can't go against the Empire. But if I Bashla, have people in the Fighters Guild, like if I work my way up, I'm gonna have comrades. I'll have people helping me out. And maybe... she looks like she's about to bash her head on the ceiling there when she walks down the stairs. Bash. Maybe I will be able to finally go home to my sister. Although to do that, probably, I'm gonna have to do the stuff that the Emperor wants. What's this? Fighters Guild Charter. The Fighters Guild Charter. I will read it later. I know that it's there. I saw it earlier. Right now, I'm going to the mine. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna head out to the mine. That way I will know that I'm on my way there when I load up the game.
Care to tell me what this is about?
When I load up the game on Sunday or Tuesday, depending on whichever day it is that I get back to Morrowind. But Saturday is going to be Oblivion. So I'm going to save here, and I'm going to... Hang on. No, don't exit. Return. My brain thinks it means exit menu for some reason. What I want to do first is look at my journal. Tells me Egg Mine is located a short distance. She gave me the name, Shulk Egg Mine. Shulk Egg Mine. Heading to Shulk Egg Mine. So I'm going to save real quick. Heading to Shulk Egg Mine. Give myself a little reminder of what I'm doing. And say, very fine people in the Fighters Guild. Yes, it's a great place if you want some work, yeah? You got fine people like Bashla here who will bash without a second thought or even a first thought. Sometimes she just bashes. So, anyway, great big thank you. Thank you to everybody who came by and hung out with me today. I had so much fun hanging out. I am really enjoying Morrowind. I really appreciate that you choose to spend your time with me and even just listening to me read. I really appreciate it. I know you could be doing other things. So great big thank you to everyone. Oh, if I do that, I lose being in the front, looking at her face. Let me see. Today I had in chat, there was Eberk and Kittyfly. I'd like to give everyone a little shout out. Eberk, Kittyfly. I know Ozzy was here, and Blue, of course, was here. 32 Ounces stopped by for a moment. Alone in Dystopia. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I feel like I did. I think Another Damn Peasant was here earlier, but my chat must have refreshed at some point, and it's not scrolling up that high anymore. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day today. Have a great tomorrow, and I hope to see you on Saturday, starting at the same time. I'll be in Oblivion doing some more reading. So have a good time, and bye!